Hey guys. Sorry with the few uploads, I've been busy. Anyway, here's part 2 of What If Naruto Was the Storm Sage. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one, and also please check the author in the description. Let's start.
We are pain, that's all. We are God.
Chapter 11, Chasing After the Moon. Fire everywhere, burning everything. I hear people screaming not for help but for their loved ones to abandon them. And yet their beloveds are ignoring their pleas and trying to save them, while dying with them. No one is going to be spared, not the kids, not the mothers or the olds. It is a genocide. I see one person came to me running and telling me something. What is he saying? I opened my eyes. Same dream, huh? I got up and took the object of my salvation. 3 more years. I whispered to no one. There are lots of things that needed to be done. With Haku moved the curtains to let the morning light in. She looked out to see the streets of Konoha. It was so different from her birthplace. She remembered living on the streets, trying to survive any way she could. The only reason she didn't meet her tragic end was because she took his hand. Even though he told her that all he wanted was an obedient weapon, she knew better. It wasn't hard to see because of the way he treated her. Shaking her head, she opened the window and looked back to see Naruto snoring. Even though the light was directly on his face, it didn't bother him at all, although he was moving around too much. When she turned her head, her gaze fell onto her new headband. She really liked her new super awesome team, which was known as the backup team. She looked back at Naruto and wondered where he got all his energy from. She briefly wondered if that was how it felt to have an energetic younger brother. It didn't take long for Haku to get along well with Naruto and Yamato. Her sensei even showed her his bloodline, and she didn't know why, but for some reason it made her to bond well with them. Yamato did warn her, though, about not revealing her bloodline as it may complicate things. It was just fine like that, because she felt that she was being too dependent on her ice release. She wanted to start fresh, and her sensei was more than willing to help her on that. She was glad that Yamato took a break for their team. It was for her to get used to her new life and also for her to get acquainted with civilians and shinobi of Konoha. The training was also a huge plus on her book. The last few days of the break, Naruto and Haku constantly trained from morning till afternoon, sometimes stretching the time to evening, Hinata with them most of the time at late noon. Haku looked at Naruto, who was groaning on his bed, and sighed. She just wished they would start dating already so the atmosphere would calm down. Admittedly, it was her fault for telling Hinata to play hard to get, but at least now Naruto was getting serious. At least she hoped he was. In the past week, Naruto introduced Haku to his other friends and his classmates. Most of them seemed to be good people. The thing was, staying with Zabuza made her to pick up few things onto how to categorize people. It may sound horrible to others, but they were shinobi. It was for everyone's sake. She learned it through experience. Ino and Sakura were more like fangirls than kunoichi. They should act more like Tenten and Hinata, who would always take their profession quite seriously. Lee was the energetic brawler type, like Naruto. Shino, Shikamaru and Chuji were good, but they lacked spirit. Also, just meeting few times with Shikamaru made Haku to understand that he was the strategic type of guy. Kiba was the strong tracker type, but he was the type that was easy to provoke, and Haku could see he had a problem focusing around girls. Sai, Niji and Sasuke were the problematic types. Haku knew they were strong. 2 she faced herself, and the other she saw when he was sparring with his teammates. But their view on life and how they approach others was what worried Haku. She met a lot of shinobi like that on Kiri, and all of them met a tragic end. She wished they would see the fault on their lifestyle, for their own sake. Haku looked at the clock and sighed. She went to Naruto and without warning threw him from the bed. To Naruto's credit, he landed on his feet, but he had this crazy look on his face. Ramen? Hinata? Fight? We have training after half an hour. Haku rubbed her forehead. She felt sorry for Hinata. At least the first in Naruto's dream wasn't a person. Blink. Pause. You suck, Hakune. Later that night, Naruto stretched his body and he looked at the stormy sky. For some reason the scenery in his mindscape felt better than the real place. To him, somehow it looked more fulfilling. He sighed again for the umpteenth time. You really need to sort this out, brat. Reiju chuckled lightly. Naruto grinned weakly. I know, but a little advice could help. I don't think that any advice I could give would be relevant to your current predicament. Reiju smiled and shook his head. Naruto mimicked him. He talked to Iruka about his irregular behavior around Hinata, who later told him that he was falling for the Hyuga heiress. But it confused him more, because if he was falling for Hinata, that what about his feeling Sakura? Iruka patiently explained to him the difference between them. After that, Naruto understood. He wanted Sakura's attention, he wanted her to treat him like how she treated Sasuke. He was starving for attention, and wanted someone to notice him. At the end, it could have been anyone. But for Hinata it was different. He already had her attention, but it wasn't enough. He wanted more. He wanted to get closer, much more closer to her. He couldn't describe these feelings well. And now that she wasn't giving him as much attention as before, it was irritating him. Iruka told him that was what it felt like to truly like someone. If it was before, he would have rushed to her and asked her out on a date, but this time it was different. Because he was scared as there was a possibility that this may cost him the irreplaceable bond he already created with her. After all, he didn't know what she thought of him. Yes, she was kind to him, but that was her nature. He couldn't take it for granted. Naruto looked up at the moon. It resembled her so much that, so close yet so far. Honestly, I know what I should, but I am scared to take the next step. What if I mess up? Man up, Naruto. You are not someone who would back down. Where is the boy who wore the mask of the Thunder God to save one person? Where is the boy who didn't cower even when he was in front of Lord Raijin, even when he was in front of me? Reiju bellowed in a thunderous voice. Naruto was taken aback. He dumbly looked at Reiju. Honestly, he was shaken to his core because of the sheer power of Reiju's voice. So you are gonna sit here and twiddle your fingers just because of what ifs? Reiju narrowed his eyes. Naruto stood straight. Hell no! Are you going to give up if she rejects you? Reiju smirked. Of course not. I will keep on trying till she bends. I will penetrate her defenses no matter how strong it is. Because this time I am not taking no for an answer, believe it! Naruto replied back with equal vigor. Reiju stopped and looked at Naruto with a blank face. What? Naruto also felt that something was wrong. Nothing. A pause. Naruto? Yeah. You need to expand your vocabulary. Next day Naruto stopped doing his lightning element training for a few days. With his troubled mind it was hard to concentrate his lightning chakra, so for now he was fully concentrating on his water elemental training, and so far it was going good but rather slowly. Right now he and Haku were doing light spar, even though Haku had more experience, but as usual Naruto was cornering her with his bottomless stamina. Stop, that's enough. Yamato ordered his students. Every once in a while he re-evaluated his students to make sure they know their weakness and strength and train accordingly. Haku, you need to build up your stamina. You are fast and precise, but the longer the fight goes on your performance diminishes faster than I thought. For now keep on training on physical exercises to fight longer. Your water release is better than I thought, so stick to taijutsu training. Yamato suggested, seeing Haku acknowledging that he moved to Naruto. Now as for you Naruto, I don't know what is wrong, but you are not your usual self. If something is bothering you, I am willing to listen. Yamato offered. Something was definitely wrong, but the question was what? Nah, don't worry, sensei. I will take care of it myself, Naruto said with a cheeky grin, but his nervous eyes didn't fool Yamato. But knowing the kid, he knew it was better to let him solve his troubles by himself. Okay, if that's the case I will hold on to your training report for now and tell you when you are feeling better. Guess this is the end for today's training, see you all. With that Yamato left via Shunshin. Now all I have to do is to wait. Naruto thought to himself. Every day Hinata would come to train with them after doing missions or rather chores with her team. And good thing her sensei was okay with that for now. Naruto sighed and sat down leaning on a tree. Few hours later, Hinata and Haku were training together on their taijutsu. For Hinata she was using gentle fists but more flexible way, and she wasn't using her chakra. Just simple taijutsu to increase the power of the strikes as well as to increase her battle stamina. And the same could be said for Haku. Naruto told them that he was fine training alone, but in truth he was just waiting for Hinata to finish her training. And seeing that she was done, he rushed to her. Yo Hinata-chan, you did great. Naruto smiled forcefully. He was never been so nervous in his life. Thank you, Naruto-kun. Hinata smiled brightly, but her eyes showed concern for him. He knew he can't hide against those all-seeing beautiful eyes. Hey, are you free tomorrow, Hinata-chan? Naruto cursed himself for his blunder. Hinata looked at her crush confusedly. He was probably going to ask her to train as usual, but why was he nervous? Yes, I am Naruto-kun. Is it about training? And no, not training. I was wondering if you would like to. I mean, if you are free, we can hang out together. Naruto almost bit his tongue. Hinata just tilted her head cutely. Haku was seeing all these from a bit far away, and she was having hard time to contain her laughter. How ironic it was that the confident boy was now a stuttering mess and asking the girl for a date, while the shy girl was being oblivious to it. Yup, too damn funny. Like usual, right, Naruto-kun? Hinata implored. She had no clue what was going on. How could she, every time Naruto would ask the same way to train with her or just to grab lunch? I mean, will you go out with me? Naruto spoke so fast that he bit his tongue. Huh? Hinata asked. Haku thought it was best if she interfered, otherwise the conversation would go nowhere. Hinata-chan, Naruto-kun was asking if he could take you out on a date. Isn't that right, Naruto-kun? Haku said sweetly, but her smirk was obvious. Naruto just glared at her but looked at Hinata and nodded. Sure, Naruto-kun. Hinata said, smiling but with her eyes closed. Oh yees! Tomorrow at 9, meet you at Ichiraku's. With that, Naruto bolted. He had lots of planning to do. Haku laughed a bit and mentally praised herself. Naruto didn't last the week just like she thought. Well, guess the hard-to-get plan was successful. See, Hinata-chan, I told you he would be the first one to come at you if you followed the strategy. So girl, what is your plan? Haku asked Hinata cheerfully but didn't receive any reply. She looked at Hinata to see she was still standing and smiling while making no motion of moving at all. Hinata-chan. Haku went close to see what was wrong. Hinata, what's wrong? Why, OHSHIT. Hinata! She isn't breathing. Next morning it was 7 in the morning. Naruto checked, double-checked, triple-checked the list of what he needed to do to make sure he didn't mess up the chance he finally got. Last night he went to bed early. Well, he had to make a shadow clone to knock himself out cause he couldn't sleep being so nervous. But before that he made few shadow clones, and for some time they read few great dating books. Dating Guide for Noobs, How to Woo Your Girlfriend, Ika Ika series, Gotta Catch 'Em All, and Ika Ika series, Capturing a Young Maiden's Heart. Now packed with all the wonderful and dirty, useful knowledge, he knew what he had to do, but despite that he couldn't help but be nervous. Suddenly few clones came in and mock saluted him. Alright, place for date, check. Gifts, check. Flowers, check. And self-dress up. Looks at himself. Check, I guess. Okay guys, you know what you have to do and do it fast and appropriately. He ordered his clones. Ready or not, here I come, might Tsukihime. For the first date, go to the meeting place an hour early. So taking the advice from the books, he reached Ichiraku's place at 8 sharp. He was nervous to boot, and why wouldn't he be? He asked the princess of Konoha to a date, and he knew no matter how much he screwed up, Hinata wouldn't get mad. What if? Naruto's thought process stopped when he saw Hinata coming, and he didn't even had to wait more than 10 minutes. Hinata was wearing a short-sleeve amethyst shirt, and the top part was open enough to show her gifts from her mother, but only the idea of them, but not enough to broadcast them. She was wearing a medium-length white skirt that stopped at her knees with blue flowers decorating the skirt. The skirt itself was also slit on 2 sides of her legs all the way up to just before hitting her thighs, showing her thin pair of light blue shorts which she wore underneath. The skirts revealed some of her legs while highlighting her curves, showing she had the figure that most girls would die for to have. Naruto was stunned. He knew he had to greet and compliment her, but his brain took the perfect time to shut down itself. Hinata giggled seeing Naruto's expression as his face said it all of what he was thinking about her. She blushed prettily when she saw that with a wide mouth and a crimson face, Naruto was checking her out rather openly. But she got to admit Naruto was looking quite good himself, as he was wearing a long-sleeve red shirt with at the ends of each sleeve, and at the bottom of the shirt was black flames. The shirt itself was buttoned up, but few were unbuttoned from the top down, showing Naruto's net shirt, and revealing his firm chest with lean muscle. His pants were black with red flames at the top of the pants, and at the bottoms of each pants leg. Both his pants and shirt were light enough and thin enough to not be skin tight, but also to allow mobility. Good morning, Naruto-kun. You are looking great today, Hinata said meekly. Ah, you am, Naruto shouted in his mind. Brain! Work! You looking hot too, and good morning. Fuck! Naruto wanted to bang his head. Meanwhile, Hinata was doing her best not to laugh. To her it was so cute of Naruto. To see that she could do so much to ever so confident Naruto was a boost to her self-confidence. Even Haku sent a letter in the early morning saying what Naruto did last night. She didn't say anything about the plan itself, only his nervous breakdown. I can still manage to save this date, Naruto panicky thought. Compliment the girl's looks. Messed up. Moving on, Naruto snapped his finger and suddenly Hinata found herself surrounded by Naruto's shadow clones, but the amazing part was all of them were kneeling while holding up various kinds of flowers, from lavender lisianthus to lavender roses. She even spotted some beautiful red hibiscus as well. From bystanders' point of view, that was one of the best romantic scenes they had seen, some even awed at them forgetting who was doing the deed. Hinata blushed fiercely. Thank you, Naruto-kun. They are beautiful. Naruto took one lavender rose and put it in Hinata's hair. In his mind he was trying to remember what that particular flower symbolized, but nothing came out. Damn, what to do? Maybe that part from Ika series. Gotta catch him, all will work. Don't worry, Hinaheim, they don't even hold a candle against your beauty, Naruto said cheekily while winking at her. Hinata had to do her best not to faint, but her blush increased fiercely, and she had to look down to avoid Naruto's intensive gaze. Give her flowers of her liking and be passionate about it. Pulled out perfectly for the place of the date, it was quite hard to find a decent one, as most of the restaurants would be harsh to him at least, which would most likely ruin the date. That's where Ika series, Capture a Young Maiden's Heart, helped him out by telling him that sometimes having an outside picnic for a date could replace the most exquisite restaurants if one knew where to have the picnic. And luckily for him, he knew the perfect place. Their previous academy had a private training ground, a beautiful field with waterfall, and it was the best place for taking Hinata there. Because from what she told him before, that she really liked the place when she was a student, what he didn't know was that she liked the place because Naruto used to train there most of the time. But the problem was, once in every few weeks one class would go and train there, being supervised by a teacher, and ominously for him their date collided. But Lady Luck smiled at him, as this time the supervising teacher was Irika, although Irika didn't want to give him the field without a good reason, so he had to resort to make a deal with the devil, who gladly took care of the problem. Now he had the beautiful training field all to himself. Open your eyes, Hinata-chan. Hinata opened her eyes only to get shocked to see the amazing place. The training ground was filled with different kinds of purple to blue flowers, and in the middle there was a wooden table with bench which was also nicely decorated. Beside it stood another Naruto who wore a pure white shirt with loose sleeves, closed on the right shoulder, with a fastener running down the right part of the chest, matching pants. With a black apron tied around his waist and black shinobi sandals. Niji's outfit from Shippuden. Hinata pinched herself to see if she was dreaming or not, because the place looks exactly like one of her dreams. Come on, Hinata-chan, let's enjoy ourselves. For eating, take her to a beautiful place. Mission accomplished for Hinata. It was one of the best moments in her life. Naruto was treating her with utmost care and respect. Although it was quite funny to watch him try to act poetic one moment, and next he would act very passionate. But the best parts were the times when he was making mistakes. Even if it was a small one, he was acting as if it was the end of Konoha. Especially when the waiter Naruto would stumble with words as he was trying his best to mimic the high-class restaurant's waiters. The real Naruto would glare daggers at him. Cute! All these moments helped her to make up her mind. If Naruto asked her to be his girlfriend at the end of the date, she would gladly accept, if she didn't faint first. She was well aware of her newfound status in the village, and all the proposals she was getting, but she could care less about any of those. My life, my choice, she thought with determination. After the wonderful lunch, they went around Konoha to relax and have fun. Hinata let Naruto take her wherever he wanted after seeing his determined look. They went to a dancing hall to dance there, only to find out that Hinata was dancing almost like a professional dancer while Naruto was dancing like he had a cockroach under his shirt. Take her to dancing and show how good you are. Fucked up. After that, Naruto took Hinata to his favorite place, top of the Hokage monument. She enjoyed it very much, at least that's what her expression felt like to Naruto. Hinata-chan, can you close your eyes? Hinata smiled and did as told. She felt something was being put around her neck. Open them. Hinata opened to see a gorgeous and expensive-looking silver-colored necklace with Uzumaki's symbol on it. It was round and was quite well crafted, and it looked like it was one of a kind. Also there were some symbols behind it, but it was very faint. Naruto-kun, what is this? Hinata asked in a very surprised voice. I got it in my last mission. After I researched a bit, I found out that it belonged to the Uzumaki clan. I didn't find much, but I found something interesting. The back symbol indicates protection, so I want you to have it. Naruto replied sincerely. Hinata smiled genuinely and mustered up all her courage to do one thing she thought she could never do so easily. She kissed Naruto on the cheek. Naruto's brain gloriously shut down once again. Take her to a nice place and give her a beautiful gift. Score. Last on the list was to walk her home. He checked it, making sure Hinata didn't see that, and started walking with her. But unbeknownst to him, Hinata activated her Byakugan at one point and had hard time holding in her giggle when she saw what Naruto had with him, a checklist to have a perfect date. So cute! Hinata giggled to herself. But the last nerve-wracking hardest part was coming. This is it, do or die. Naruto was shaking his head while chanting it out aloud without knowing. Hinata smiled softly hearing his chanting, who knew Naruto would be more nervous than her. Hinata-chan, I hope you enjoyed the date, Naruto asked hopefully. Yes, I did. It was one of the best days of my life. Hinata smiled warmly while directly looking at her crush's eyes. Today was really a great day for boosting her self-confidence. Go for it, spill it. Hinata-chan, I am not good with beating around the subject. We both know I am not that smart. So I will ask you directly. Naruto sharply took a long breath. Will you be my girlfriend? Yes, I will. Hinata answered while small tears were forming in her eyes. Sai, I understand that you don't want to, so can we st? Wait, what? Naruto was speaking in a dejected voice until Hinata's word finally registered into his mind. You want to be my girlfriend. Hinata nodded happily. As in like couple, lover, that kind of girlfriend. Hinata blushed heavily, but she still smiled and nodded once again. 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second. Naruto jumped around and started dancing like a drunken monkey. He stopped only to hug Hinata and started spinning her around. Hinata's laughter could be heard from far away. Best day ever. Both of them thought happily to themselves. Omake, first time deal with the devil. Damn it, Iruka-sensei, why couldn't you give me the damn field just for tomorrow? I need it more than those pesky brats. Gah! Don't blame me for this, sensei. You are the one who brought this upon yourself. Naruto grumbled out while standing behind the door. No going back. Stealing his resolve, he knocked the door. The door opened after a while. Well. Look who we have here, the one and only king of prankster. So what are you doing here, brat? I need your help and I know you will like it. With that, Naruto sealed the deal with the demon. After an hour, Iruka came out from the shower, but a subtle noise warned him that he was not alone. He took out a hidden kunai under the carpet and went to his bedroom to see an Umbu was doing something in his bed, but he couldn't see what he was doing nor his mask as his back was facing him. Who are you? And what are you doing here? Before Iruka could do or say anything anymore, the person went poof, revealing that he was nothing but a shadow clone. But something in his bed caught his eye. A scroll? He went to check it, but the moment he picked it up it transformed, and to his horror it was a pink panty. Ho ho ho, caught red-handed, Iruka-chan. A cheerful voice called him out from behind. Iruka mechanically looked back slowly to see a very, very happy Anko standing there. All these times you were rejecting my advances and here you are now stealing my panties. I wonder why. I hope you are prepared for a little punishment, Anko said, licking her lips while eyeing Iruka hungrily. Iruka started to think faster than a Nara could. He was in his bedroom with wearing only a towel while holding Anko's panty, and the said girl was giving off a very bad predatory kind of vibe. After analyzing the situation, in less than a minute he came up with hundreds of ways to get out from this mess, although none of them could reassure his safety. Heck, he would be lucky if he could pull even one of them properly. He started to back down slowly. Anko-san, please listen to me. This isn't what it looks like. I was framed. There was. Why are you undressing? Listen, damn it. Wait. Put that back on. Stop pulling my towel. Bad Anko. Bad Anko. Wait. Heep. A bit far away from the suspected crime scene, our hero was standing with a sad face. I am sorry, Iruka-sensei. I will never forget your heroic sacrifice, but know this. When I become the Hokage, I will put your name on the hero's memorial stone. You shall not be forgotten. Ah, who am I kidding? He is going to thank me later anyway. Chapter 12, Hunt for a Treasure. Hayatan, Frozen Needles of Death. Dense Shadow Clone Jutsu. 2 shadow clones appeared in front of the 100 charging frozen needles just in time for Naruto to escape Haku's range. Dem almost had her in the close-range fight. She is getting better at ice style, and here she said she does not want to train on ice style that much. Naruto thought while he jumped back further. If Naruto-kun wants to finish this fight, he has to come closer, and that's when I will beat him. Haku thought while readying more needles. Time to go all out. Naruto shouted. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. Hundreds of clone came out in the clearing and all charged towards Haku. Seeing the waves of clones coming at her, she started making the hand signs while jumping back. She waited a bit and smiled. All in place. Pumping up her chakra, she smirked. Hayaton, certain kill ice spears. Suddenly lots of giant ice spikes came from underneath and destroyed a good amount of clones. Haku released a breath of relief, but it was short-lived when she heard Uzumaki style, flash clone step. To her shock, Naruto was now holding his blade to her neck. Crafty move, isn't it, Hakune? Not crafty enough. The moment she said that, the part of the blade that was touching her skin froze, and before he could do anything, Haku moved closer and exploded into snow parts, which fell fully on Naruto, half freezing him. Is TT this? Naruto said with chattering teeth. Hayaton, ice clone, and Hayaton, showering snow. The last one, me and Yamato-sensei came up together to capture a weakened enemy by freezing them, albeit not completely. Haku replied calmly while coming out from behind a tree. She moved in closer to Naruto, but that sealed her fate. Storm release, laser circus. One energy beam came and struck in front of Haku. Seeing the after effect of the attack, Yamato came and shouted. Stop, it's over. Naruto wins. Haku just shook her head. If that attack hit her, she would be on her way to hospital. And as usual, Naruto started cheering for his own victory. Yahoo, that makes 2 wins and 1 loss. Could have one if I knew you mastered that move. Haku pouted. Yeah, but you said you are not gonna train on ice release that much, but all I can see you are using new ice release jutsu every time. Naruto said accusingly. Yamato was pleased to see their progress. After last week's break, they started their usual D-rank mission, but they did them solo. After that, they would do their training, although sometimes they had all-out sparring. And every spar, each of them would come up with different tactics to outdo other. Naruto knew from his first win that if he could bring Haku into close range, the fight was his, but because he let the first one got to his head, he lost the second one, but the third one was the most interesting. He brought Haku into a close range fight, but when things started looking bad for Haku, she used frozen needle jutsu to put some distance between them, ice version of her water needle. Moving into safe place, Naruto used Shadow Clone Army but was wiped out by the same move that beat him last time, but interesting thing was Naruto's clone acted as a line from his place to Haku, and he used Kawarimi on them simultaneously to move closer to Haku really fast and in a zigzag way. Although this time Haku caught him off guard with 2 of her new Hayaton moves, but the one she caught was a shadow clone. Even Yamato didn't see when Naruto switched with the clone. Nice fight, you guys. The way you fight and think ahead makes me believe that you are already on Chunin level, but only in combat. There is more you need to learn. Yamato lightened the mood, and then he asked Naruto. When did you switch with the clone, Naruto? Even I didn't see that. Naruto smiled brightly. I didn't switch because from the beginning I wasn't the one who went in with clone step. It was another dense clone. Yamato just laughed. Most unpredictable ninja indeed. What is a dense clone, Naruto-kun? Haku asked. It is one of my own original moves, an improvised version of Shadow Clone. I pump up Shadow Clone with lots of chakra. If I stabilize the chakra, it is a dense version that can withstand a few good solid hits but will dispel automatically after some uncertain amount of time. And if I don't stabilize the chakra, it will become an explosion version which will do you know what. Naruto laughed. Well, guess you guys are ready for another C-rank mission. Yamato smiled knowing they had enough team training. The reaction was a cheering Naruto and a smiling Haku. Next day, Hokage Tower. So you think they are ready for another joint C-rank mission? Hiruzen inquired. Yes, their teamwork and performance were more than satisfactory. Yamato eagerly replied back. Okay, we have one rookie team that will do a C-rank mission. They were already briefed, but I will give you the mission parameter. Check with their team. I think they said they will go to the barbecue place to meet with the client. Hiruzen eyed Naruto. He wondered if he would be able to see him smile in front of him again. Will do. Alright team, move out. Yamato ordered. Barbecue place. Hello, Kurenai-san. Yamato politely greeted their partner team. Hell yeah. Naruto jumped with joy inwardly but didn't show anything outside except grinning wildly. Guess you guys will be our partner in this mission. Nice knowing we have a good backup. Kurenai laughed. The declaration had different reaction from the Genins. Naruto's face-splitting grin told everything. Haku was glad that her first official C-rank mission was someone she knew. Kiba looked pissed for some reason. Hinata was ecstatic that her second C-rank mission would be with her boyfriend, and Shino was, being Shino. So, where is the client? Yamato asked. He should be here any minute. Ah, there he is. Kurenai pointed at an old man. Everyone looked to see an old man came there walking with a cane. He was wearing a silver shirt, with a light black-colored robe over the top of it covering slightly below from his knee to just over his left shoulder. The robe concealed his left side of the upper body, but from the outline anyone can see he was missing his left hand. Hello everyone, I am guessing you are my treasure retrieval team. The old man joked. Treasure? Was the only thought that went around all the genins' heads. Everyone meet Karasher. He is the client for this mission, and as he just said, we are to retrieve his belonging which was recently stolen by bandits. Kurenai informed everyone. So sensei, we are going to look for some treasure? Kiba asked enthusiastically. I said my treasure, so I am not sure that the object would hold same value to you guys. But it is very important to me. Karasher corrected Kiba. Like Karasher said, it is an important object to him, so we have to track down the bandits and make sure that he gets his treasure back to him safely. Kurenai summarized their mission. Okay guys, for now go and pack your stuffs. We will be leaving early in the morning. Yamato ordered everyone. Yo Hinata, want to? Before Kiba could even finish, out of nowhere a cat came and hissed at Akamaru, after which it bolted, leaving the dog hot on its tail, giving Kiba no other choice but to follow after them. Now with the nuisance being taken care of, Hina-chan, let me walk you to your house. Naruto asked his girlfriend politely. Hinata blushed hotly. She requested Naruto to keep their relationship secret for now because she was afraid that if her clan found out they might cause troubles for Naruto. Although Naruto reluctantly agreed, his behavior showed otherwise. He would openly try to flirt with her, which she found cute, would give her flowers and presents occasionally that showed his sweet side, and would lash out at anyone who would try to approach at her romantically, which worried her. Well, I guess that's what makes him very special. Hinata squeaked inwardly. Only 4 people knows of their relationship, 3 being told by them, Haku, Yamato and Kurenai, while the last one cause of his observant eyes, Hayashi. For Hayashi, he knew of his daughter's crush, and so few months back when they started training together he had a feeling that things might escalate in near future, but he didn't wanted it to be this soon. For now he would tolerate their relationship, as this was having a huge positive impact on Hinata's life, both physically and mentally. That boy has to have a man-to-man talk with me sometime soon. That was the only thought that went through Hayashi's head when he learned about their relationship with Naruto. Hinata-chan, how is your Gentle Fist project going? Naruto asked Hinata, remembering her wish to create her own style. Not that good. I combined some of the snake-style movements to make mine more flexible, but I feel like it is not enough. Hinata said dejectedly. Anko did show her some of the basic snake styles, but she couldn't combine everything with Gentle Fist, because both style being so different from one another. Yeah, about that, Hinata-chan, here, take this. Naruto gave her a scroll. I found it at Wave as well. First I thought it was a taijutsu scroll after taking a peek, but it is not. It is for some kind of dance moves, I think, fan or cloth dance or something like that. I thought it might help you. Naruto explained sheepishly. Thank you, Naruto-kun. Hinata smiled. Taking the scroll, she opened it to take a look. She might not be a professional dancer, though she was taught basic dancing. But she really enjoyed dancing, and she could tell from looking at some moves that this was not a normal regular kind of dancing. The dance moves needed perfect balance, while for the successive execution one had to be far too flexible. She knew that this was what she needed. Looking around to see if the coast was clear, then to express her thanks, she kissed Naruto on the cheek. Naruto went rigid for a while, then started dancing like a monkey. Score! Cute! Next day, in the morning, Naruto was on cloud 9. Why? He and Hinata decided to come early to have some alone time together. After Hinata kissed him on the cheeks and hugged him for some time to show that how much she appreciated his latest present, she told him that that scroll had what she needed to improve her Gentle Fist further. The scroll was about an exotic kind of dancing that was deemed to be lost, Dance of the Mermaids. Normally people would ask how some dancing moves could be useful to an assault fighting style. Well, Naruto did ask Hinata. She explained that those dancing moves required one to be perfectly flexible, and also gave some training tips of how to increase one's flexibility. Higher level of the dancing moves even needed some chakra control to have proper balance between speed and flexibility. She already formed some moves combining Gentle Fist, water manipulation, snake style and dance of the mermaid. All that was left was to create and master them. And the best part was that it had been only one day since she got the scroll and she already got so many ideas. She just couldn't wait to start on them. So it was perfectly sensible for her to show Naruto just how much she cherished it. Well, she did her best considering her shyness, but by the looks of it Naruto enjoyed it very much. Note to self, bring in more ninja scrolls as a present. Naruto mentally made a note about it. After a while, Haku and Yamato came first and was followed by the rest of the group. So guys, here are the picture of the object. Yamato handed pictures to all the genins. It is a silver-colored metal box with a star symbol engraved on the top. As far we know, the bandits that raided the place was last seen around Kinzen Town, so our first stop is that place, and from there we have to track down the bandits and retrieve the item. Clear? Kurenai summarized their mission. Everyone nodded. Well then, let's move out. Yamato ordered. Kinzen Town, luckily for them, no problems occurred on their journey to the town. So they reached there after few hours. Alright guys, everyone will be split into groups and will be given assignments. Yamato told the teams. Shino and Kiba will go and recon the area for any bandits, but do not engage them if you find any. Haku and I will go talk to the chief of this town, and Yamato will be looking for a hotel while Naruto and Hinata will be gathering information from inside the village. We will be meeting here in the town center. Kurenai laid out the formation. The reactions were the same as expected, but before any could cheer or voice their opinion, Yamato butted in. No time to disagree, guys, you heard the lady. Move out, and by the way, I will be leaving a shadow clone here, so if you need anything, ask the clone. Now go. Yamato said, leaving no room for any arguments. With Hinata and Naruto. So we have to gather information inside the village? Naruto asked while grinning mischievously, which was never a good sign. Hinata nodded, but she knew something was coming. You know, Hinata-chan, we can rest and chill for a while before we start. Naruto said cheekily, making Hinata blush. Naruto-kun, we are on a mission. Concentrate. Hinata chided. Who said we are gonna slack off? Naruto's grin increased while he made his favorite sigh. Shadow clone jutsu. 10 clones popped in front of them. Spy formation. Immediately the clones hinged themselves into normal civilian of different ages. Scatter. Naruto howled, making all the clones dashing off inside the village. Hinata was stunned seeing this. They will do the investigation for a while. Naruto started to scratch the back of his head while his cheeks sported a soft blush. You know, I don't think you thanked me enough for the present I gave you this morning. With Kurenai and Haku. Are you sure about this? Kurenai asked while rubbing her head. Yes, but to their defense they didn't know about this. Haku replied back. Why can't I get a simple C-rank mission? Kurenai sighed. Go look for Yamato first, and then regroup with Naruto and Hinata fast. I will go look for the other two. Hopefully those two won't get into any trouble. Meet me with everyone else at the square. Hi, Kurenai-sensei. With that, Haku dashed off. Damn, hope things don't get too complicated. Kurenai only wished. With Kiba and Shino. Shit! This is bad. Kiba yelled. This wouldn't have happened if you acted as you were told. Shino said with an edgy voice. Hey, how come this is my fault? Kiba barked. Let's have a look back then. We were ordered to scout the area only. In case we find any enemy, we were not supposed to engage them, but you acted illogically yet again, deciding you can take on the enemy. Shino said while he narrowly dodged a shuriken. Come on, aren't you supposed to back me up? We are here for bandits, not ninjas. You can't blame me. Kiba replied while he ducked just in time to save his head. Logically, as a comrade I ought to stand by your side in tough times to watch your back. Shino said while breathing hard. Running while dodging was taking its toll on the newly genins. Before Kiba could reply. But right now I doubt I will live long if I act logically. So for now let us use our energy in running instead of bickering. Shino suggested. Before Kiba could reply, he dashed to the side after hearing the warning from Akamaru just in time to dodge an arrow. Both of them looked back to see the attacker. Oh shit! With Naruto and Hinata. Naruto was having a great time. Hinata was giving him a lap pillow while with one hand she was scratching his whiskers and with other she was stroking his hair gently. He really liked her touches. It was not for perverted reason, well maybe a bit, but mostly because he was not used to gentle physical touches. He envied other kids for this when he was little. But now that Hinata was his girlfriend, she allowed him to touch her as much as he wanted, not sexually though. Those were still high-level stuffs for our young couple. Hinata blushed cutely when Naruto started rubbing his cheeks against her thighs. She learned one new thing about Naruto, that he liked to cuddle a lot. She knew the reason why, and for that she would let him had his fill. She would blush a lot but was thankful that Naruto till now never touched her inappropriately in any way. Normally she would faint with the excessive physical contacts, but when she would see Naruto's happy and content face, her embarrassment would be replaced with happiness. But their private moment was interrupted by a huge explosion that came further away from the village. They got up hurriedly. Fixing themselves, they ran towards the explosion site. But before going, Naruto made few shadow clones and told them to find others. Battle site moments before the large explosion, Kiba and Shino had to admit they were lucky. They went out to scout the area as instructed, but while scouting they found a few bandits in a small camp. Despite Shino's acute protesting, Kiba engaged them and beat them. But to their surprise, more bandits started showing up, and before they could do anything, they were attacked with jutsu, showing them that some enemy ninjas were in the premise. They made a hasty retreat with the enemy hot on their tail. From the attack and precision, Shino deduced that the enemy ninja was at least Chunin level or higher. They were cornered, and when all hope seemed lost, lightning ball would release, wood locking wall. An intense lightning sphere hit directly at the wooden shield, which at the last minute protected the two fresh genin. Yamato landed directly in front of Kiba and Shino, while a few enemies landed opposite of them. But the one that took everyone's attention was a guy who wore a dark brown sleeveless vest falling to his knees, where the inside was purple, a light brown belt, a light gray pants, and he had bandages covering most of his body, his neck down to his chest, including his arms and his tibias. Raiga Kurasuke, the thunder of the hidden mist. Yamato grunted. He cursed his luck bitterly. From the look of it, only Raiga looked an experienced fighter, while others looked mostly low to elite genin level. I didn't know that Konoha had another wood user. Raiga smirked. Boys, leave this one to me and get the others. Before any of the bandits could move, needles started to fly towards them, and few unlucky ones got hit dead on at the vital points, seeing that every bandit took cover except Raiga. Guess you got to see your skill as well, and number 5, take care of the hidden pest. Raiga talked as if there was another person there. Haku got a bad feeling hearing that. Suddenly all of her instincts told her to get away from there fast, and like she was taught, she followed her instincts just in time to dodge an arrow. Someone is out there. Haku started scanning the area, but she kept moving randomly. That girl is good, this ought to be interesting. An unknown figure smirked. Shit, what was that? Yamato panicked a bit. An unknown factor in a shinobi world was always a dangerous thing. Are you sure you can concentrate on other people, would user? Raiga smirked and readied his swords. Fangs of lightning, he shouted. Seeing the danger, Yamato once again used his wooden defense, but the wooden dome was badly damaged, indicating that it could not go against that attack. Kiba, Shino, leave the area and go find Kurenai. Now! Yamato shouted. If the battle dragged, they would get into the crossfire. Kiba and Shino didn't wait any second longer before they dashed towards the village. After them. Raiga yelled, but immediately needles came and hit in front of the would-be pursuers, showing that the hidden ally was still there. Raiga grunted. Guess it is just you and me, wood user. With that, Raiga charged at Yamato, who started to analyze the situation instantly. Raiga was a lightning user with one of the mist sword Kiba, whereas he had wood element, which was an advanced natural element based on earth. Not a good choice, but I can't back up now. Yamato thought to himself. He threw some shuriken at him to get some distance. After landing a bit far away from Raiga, he pulled out a tanto. He used it to practice with Naruto. But he knew he had to avoid getting into a sword fight at any cost. They were not known as the best kenjutsu users for nothing. What's wrong? Is running away all you can do? Raiga snickered. His attacks are straightforward and packs power. Well, lucky enough my student is the same. Let's see if this works or not. With that thought, Yamato rushed forward. Raiga smirked and steadied himself, but what he didn't expect for Yamato to throw a smoke bomb at him. Seriously? A smoke bomb? Do you? Before Raiga could finish. Water release, water bowl. He got hit by a jet of water point blank, throwing him off his feet. He crashed at a tree hard. Yamato, seeing the chance, didn't waste any time. He threw some shuriken and charged at him. To Raiga's credit, he was able to dodge the shurikens but got some cuts and bruises when Yamato attacked him on close range. He took a kick on the stomach and using the force he jumped back to put distance between them. Nice one. And let me guess, you soaked me thinking that if I use lightning jutsus now I will electrocute myself? You are not the first one to try that. He smirked when he saw Yamato narrowed his eyes. Take this for size, bastard! Lightning Dragon Tornado. Shit. Current situation. Thanks, Haku, you just saved me from getting fried. Yamato chuckled. Moments before Raiga's lightning dragon hit Yamato, Haku came and used her ice mirror to pull Yamato away from the dragon's path. So when the lightning dragon hit the frozen mirrors, it caused a huge explosion. No worries, Sensei, but I think he can still use the attack. His body is emitting strong lightning chakra. I don't think he is going to fall for the same trick twice. Haku said nervously while still not moving her eyes from Raiga. An ice user, wow. You got some nice bloodlines there. Don't shoot. We will take the girl, Raiga stopped in time and dodged an incoming lightning kunai while blocking the other two with his swords. You ain't taking shit, asshole. Naruto came and landed in front of everyone while Hinata landed close to Yamato to check his injuries. A Hyuga, and from the looks of it a CLS-1. Lucky break for me. Raiga laughed. Naruto growled loudly. He pulled out his swords and took his stance. Checkmate. Raiga smirked. Lightning Dragon Tornado. But unlike last time where he had to collect the lightning in his body and spin to use the jutsu, this time it was fast and direct, which caught off guard everyone, and Naruto was right in its path. But Naruto knew if he were to move, everyone else would get caught in the attack as they were directly behind him. Determined, he stood his ground. Naruto-kun, no! Hinata yelled and rushed but was caught by Yamato. To everyone's horror, Naruto took the attack full force. His scream could be heard throughout the forest. Chapter 13, Hydra's Rampage. His scream could be heard throughout the forest. The whirling vortex of wind and electricity hit Naruto with full power and was tearing him apart. At least that was what everyone thought. Most of the metals in Naruto's body, including his blade, were crumbled to dust, but Naruto still stood his ground. Seeing that, Raiga's smirk turned to frown. That brat should have been turned to ashes by now. Naruto opened his eyes to show that they were pure blue now. No pupil, nothing, just pure raging deep blue. Even with all the pressure from the attack, he held out his hands towards Raiga and the bandits. The vortex dragon that was attacking suddenly acted weirdly, as if it was being absorbed. Slowly, to everyone's shock, the whole dragon, or rather the lightning part of it, was absorbed by Naruto. With a semi-conscious state, he shouted, Maelstrom release, Hydra's rampage. A halo of bright energy started spreading around Naruto's hands while bright light started covering his hand from wrist up. Slowly the light started spreading and reached the halo, forming a gigantic sphere on Naruto's hand. Suddenly wind violently started to gather around the sphere and there was a severe screeching noise. To everyone's surprise, pure energy beam forming as a snake with a long horn started coming out from the sphere. And there were total 9 of them. To the enemy's horror, they started attacking. It was nothing but a carnage. The energy snakes started to tear down all the bandits as if they were made of paper when impaled them with horns or incinerated them to nothingness with a touch of their body. The snakes continued their rampage randomly for some time, and then slowly they faded. Raiga was holding his ground with sheer determination and pride. He destroyed 2 of the snakes, but he knew without the Kiba he would have had the same fate like the bandits. He didn't waste any time and whistled. Suddenly he was covered by smoke, and when it was cleared, he was long gone. All this time, the Konohanins were holding their breath. The first one to break out from the stupor was Hinata, who immediately dashed towards Naruto when she saw Raiga fled. She didn't dare to look back at the battle site, fearing to see the aftermath of her boyfriend's attack. Yamato came right after her and checked Naruto's vital. He is okay for now, but we have to move him fast. Yamato reassured Hinata, who was sobbing lightly. The coast seems clear, Sensei. Let's hurry up before they come back with reinforcements. Haku hurried Yamato, who nodded and picked up Naruto and headed back to the village. Few hours later, back at the village. So how is he? Yamato asked. There was a slight desperation in his tone. He is out of danger, but he needs time to heal fully. He is having severe chakra exhaustion and his hands from wrist up are burned badly. Hinata has taken care of the burn. Her herbal cream has sped up the process of the healing. She is taking rest with him now. What the hell happened? It felt like there was a storm going on in your direction. I would have come earlier if I didn't meet Kiba and Shino on the way. They were badly beaten and exhausted, so I had to bring them back here first. Kurenai explained her part. You have no idea, but first can you explain fully why our mission parameter has changed? Haku found me and just told me that both of you found out that ninjas are involved now, so we had to gather again for the mission update. I need details. Normal ninja is one thing, but facing another Miss Swordsman is not something to be taken lightly. Yamato sighed. This was not how things were supposed to be. Which one of the swordsmen we have to deal with? Kurenai asked with a surprising tone. Raiga Kurasuki, the Thunder of the Hidden Mist, wielder of Kiba. Hearing that, Kurenai frowned. Guess things had gone from bad to worse. Well, from what we learned is that someone started to gather some rogue low-level ninjas and bandits. The reason is unclear, but what we do know is the bandit group we are looking for joined them, making things much harder. The villagers are quite scared of this unified group, so no one raised any voice of objection. Scowling, Kurenai said, So what would be the best course of action? Yamato sighed while rubbing his forehead. What else can we do? I will request for some backup and hope they can reach on time. Other than that, we have to stay and fight, because we can't retreat with Naruto like that, and we don't know their full number. There was another skilled fighter with them, and I am sure that person wasn't injured. So moving around in the dark with an injured ally is not an option. Naruto took out a lot of their men. I am guessing now they are low on number. What was the technique Naruto used? Hinata doesn't even want to talk about it. Kurenai was interested. I don't know myself, but I can tell it is a high S-class jutsu. You know Naruto's bloodline, right? For the advanced natural bloodline, sometimes the bear uses new jutsu unknowingly in life-threatening situations. Even I came up with some of the jutsu like that. Yamato replied back in a tired voice. Hearing the tiredness in his voice, Kurenai softened up. Hey, at least we have an ace in our group as well. They didn't fight me, so we can use that to gain the upper hand. But for now, let us rest. Something tells me we will be needing that quite soon. Yamato nodded in agreement. With Naruto's mindscape. Ouch, even in my mindscape I am hurting all over. Naruto sighed while stretching his body. What were you expecting, brat? Just because you were blessed by Lord Raijin, no lightning attack would affect you at all. Reiju grunted. It was calm in his mindscape. No raging wind or thundering clouds, indicating that his mind was also got affected by the brutal attack and vicious counter-attack. Well, I kinda half expected that. But come on, did you really thought I was going to move out of the way when my friends and Hinata-chan was behind me? Naruto grunted. No, I guess not. Reiju chuckled softly. Well, that's what makes you who you are. Suddenly he got serious. Your plan was good but flawed. Yes, in some extent you can absorb or reduce the damage of lightning attack for now, but against something of that caliber it was nothing but a suicidal act. Good thing you used a powerful counter-attack to avoid getting seriously injured. Now that piqued Naruto's interest. What was that, Reiju-san? I don't remember clearly, but I think I used laser circus jutsu, right? Reiju laughed softly. Better if I show you what you did. With that, Reiju showed the memories of his devastating jutsu and its aftermath. Awesome! What the hell was that? Naruto started yelling with overexcitement. That, my boy, was your very first pure storm release jutsu. Well, it seems like you also came up with a nice name for your bloodline, Maelstrom, is it? Fits you. Reiju smiled. Seeing that Naruto looked at him with wide puppy eyes, he chuckled. So I am guessing you need some explanation of the jutsu, right? Naruto nodded shyly. But first I must warn not to use that jutsu until you are ready. Naruto pouted. Oh, come on, I did well there. Naruto, you used the lightning of that S-class attack and then you used your own chakra till the last drop to use this technique. Do you really think you can handle this? Naruto lowered his head with a bit sadness. That's why I was against you learning pure storm attacks so early. They are too strong for you, Naruto. Either you can control them nor you have power to properly execute them. So give me your word that you won't use it unless it is a life and death situation. Naruto nodded. Don't feel so bad. Give it some time and then you will be able to use jutsu like those properly. Now as for how it works, let's just say it is a huge upgraded version of Laser Circus. In Laser Circus, you store medium amount of lightning and water chakra and combine them to shoot beam at your targets. Here you store more, a lot of more. And when an appropriate amount of them is stored in your hand, you move to wind element, which started gathering around you, more specifically around the stored area, and then you can use your jutsu. In this jutsu, water merges with lightning to give it a thick form so that the lightning can move around with more flexibly, and in some parts wind merges instead of water. It reduces the forking and turbulence of the lightning while enhances the core and gives it a very high level of cutting edge which can cut through even normal lightning. Also, the wind and lightning makes a screeching noise to disorient the enemies. Naruto's jaw hit the floor. He didn't fully comprehend the theory behind the jutsu, but he did learn that it was a dangerous wild card. Understanding the risk, he knew what to do. Guess I have to train more if I want to use Maelstrom Jutsu. Are all of the real storm release jutsu going to be the epitome of awesomeness while being a pain in the ass to pull it off? Reiji grinned, seeing that his words went through Naruto. Yes, they will, but right now rest. You will need that. Somewhere else Raiga was sitting in the bed while observing his hands, which were numb from the last battle, mainly the last blow. That was one devastating attack, now wasn't it? Raiga looked in front to see a guy entering the place. He was 5.5 feet tall with black hair, wearing an open jacket which was dark brown with dark green spot everywhere. Inside he was wearing a mesh cloth, arms in his jacket was folded till his elbow, revealing his bandage-covered arms. His pants matched his jacket. He was holding a medium-sized scroll. In his cheek there was a tattoo, number 5. Nothing, I couldn't handle number 5. Raiga scoffed. Correct me if I am mistaken, but that attack tore through your lightning attacks, right? The guy named number 5 grinned slightly. Raiga narrowed his eyes but didn't say anything, as he was right. When he saw the attack he used his fangs of lightning, but the beast tore through that. The only reason he was able to destroy 2 snakes out of 9 was because of his swords. When he hit an energy snake with Kiba, it absorbed some of the lightning element from there and dispersed the rest, effectively destroying it, but even with Kiba he could still feel the backlash of the attack as if he touched raw lightning. That attack took out most of his men. Now he had to approach this differently. He may be strong, but from the looks of it, he will be out for a few days. I will reach my full fighting level soon, just need some rest. We will have to take them out, some of them has quite the rare bloodline we could use. Get ready, this fight I will take you and Ranmaru as well, Raiga said tiredly and laid down on the bed. Whatever you say, boss. Number 5 smirked. Next day back at the village, everyone was getting ready for the upcoming attack. They knew that they would be attacked, but what they didn't know was when. Kiba and Shino were having light spar while Kurenai and Haku were patrolling around the village to look out for any suspicious behavior. Yamato told them that he had something to do, so he would be gone for a while, and Hinata was still beside Naruto, taking care of him. From the looks of it he started to recover but was still unconscious. Suddenly there was an explosion just outside the village gate. Hearing that, the villagers hurried inside to their home. Kurenai looked at Haku, who nodded, getting the message. She bolted to their place to get everyone. Kurenai remembered what Yamato told her before he headed out. Flashback. Are you sure about this, Yamato-san? Kurenai asked. She could already see the incoming headache. Yes, Raiga will attack as soon as he recovers fully, and I am afraid Naruto will still be out considering his health, so that's why I am suggesting to be prepared. If they attack before Naruto recovers, keep Shino guarding him, and we all will move out. Yamato told Kurenai, who knew it was better to listen to him in this kind of situations. She might be more experienced as a jonin, but he was more experienced in the battlefield than her. Don't you think Hinata would be better? Kurenai asked, knowing that she wouldn't be happy to hear that. As much as I would like to have her or Haku guard Naruto, we will need some power to beat whatever Raiga will try to throw at us, and also to locate their archer. Kiba is brash, so I don't want him guarding Naruto. Shino acts logically and thinks ahead, so he is perfect for this. Before we go out to confront Raiga and his team, we have to secretly move Naruto to a much safer place just as a precaution. I will go out just for a while to test out something. If it works, I can fight head-on with Raiga. Yamato explained briefly about his plan. Kurenai nodded in acknowledgement. Flashback ends. Kurenai didn't wait long before Yamato came. He looked a bit rusty, indicating that he was training of some sorts. Before she could ask, everyone else came. Hinata was there, but anyone could tell she was reluctant to go. Kurenai just went to her and patted her shoulder while smiling, making Hinata to feel better. All right, everyone. Let's move out, and remember, follow our commands. These are powerful shinobi we are going to fight. So do not act brashly, Yamato said with steel voice while he narrowed his eyes at Kiba at one point. Kiba gulped, knowing full well that this time mistakes meant death. With that, they all moved out to confront their enemies. Outside the village. So we meet again, wood user. Raiga smirked. They were out in a small open field. Behind Yamato there was the end of the forest from which they came from. A bit to the side there was a hill. But the main problem for our ally was only Raiga was standing in the clearing while there were no sign of any other. Yamato was glad that he told Hinata and Kurenai to position themselves at the edge of the forest so that they were not visible, and yet not far away from them in case if they needed backup. Kiba and Haku were a bit behind Yamato, and were waiting for their order. Raiga and Yamato were having a stare down, waiting to see who would initiate first. Suddenly, Raiga pointed his swords upwards. Bingo! Yamato smirked. Wood style, wood clone jutsu, 2 wooden clones came and stood beside Yamato, who threw them some objects while he shouted at the duo behind him. "Get back and have a look out for the other one." With that he took out his own sword, but it was slightly different. "Take this." Fangs of lightning. The twin lightning strike rushed toward their target, but before they could hit, one of the wood clone came in front of it and held out the object. To everyone's surprise, it withstood full damage, albeit looking a bit damaged. "What just happened?" Raiga was confused, but he didn't have time to ponder over it as Yamato charged at him, grinning. His little project worked. He used wood clone as a medium to absorb the lightning and passed it down to the ground, effectively nullifying the attack, and the clones were holding 2 metal rods to attract the lightning itself. The clones would take damage depending on the attack, but he upgraded his clone jutsu. Now his wood clones could replenish themselves by taking minerals from the ground if the damage was not too extensive. So it was the best option to go around Raiga's most of the lightning attacks. He also upgraded his sword. He put a bit of enhanced wood parts in the handle and one side of his sword so that it could withstand Raiga's own. Swords clashed with each other. Raiga was the better swordsman among them, and both knew that, but Yamato's goal was to deceive Raiga. While he was showing that he was getting aggressive, all he was doing was trying to nerve Raiga into using more of his lightning attacks. "Got you!" "Lightning ball!" Raiga shouted. But before his attack could hit Yamato, he substituted himself with his wooden clone, who once again took the attack, nullifying it. But he saw a small red flash before substituting, which he disregarded. Before Raiga could destroy the clone, Yamato smirked. "Wood release, smothering binding technique." Thick wooden branch started encircling around Raiga and then suddenly started to bind him. While restricting him, the branch thickened more, making him completely immobilized. "Checkmate, Raiga." Yamato smirked, but it vanished when he saw Raiga chuckling. He snapped from his thought by Hinata's yelling, "Yamato-sensei, look out!" Yamato didn't know what was going to happen, but he jumped back and shouted, "Wood release, wood locking wall." Before the wall could even form properly, it was hit by a vortex dragon which crushed it and headed towards him, but one of his wood clones jumped in front of him to take the damage for him. But that caused a great explosion to occur. The clone gave enough time for Yamato to back off, but the force of the explosion was strong enough to make Yamato flew towards Kiba and Haku. Haku caught Yamato in the midair but cried out when an arrow grazed her shoulder, cutting it deeply. She looked around to see Kiba got hit by arrows as well, one in the leg and one he was able to dodge in time, but it still cut his arm badly. Few more arrows started to fly towards them, but they were stopped by shuriken, courtesy of Kurenai. Kurenai landed on the clearing and shouted, "Demonic illusion, haunted mirror." Suddenly the area seemed to distort a bit, and to everyone's surprise Raiga was standing where Yamato's substituted wood clone was, and the same wood clone was now restricted by wooden branch. Everyone suddenly snapped their head to a screaming voice. A bit further a young boy clutched his head and fell down. He had chin-length purple hair which parted in the middle. He also had light red-colored eyes. He wore a light purple shirt with black stripes on each side, a sash around his waist, a pair of dark-colored pants and sandals. "Ranmaru!" Raiga shouted and jumped to see if the kid was okay. "I am okay, Raiga-san. That woman was able to reverse my genjutsu. It took a lot out of me." With that the boy called Ranmaru lost consciousness. "What happened?" Yamato grumbled out. "Genjutsu. One so strong that even Byakugan couldn't catch it on time." Kurenai explained, which caused Yamato to raise an eyebrow and made a face of "explain please." "This is only a hypothesis, but I think that boy there started to use an area-based genjutsu sometime between the fight. It was showing all of us that there were no disturbance in the nature, so when Raiga started to gather more than normal lightning to use his devastation attack, you couldn't react faster. And for the swap part, one think he used another genjutsu on you to catch you off guard. That kid is something else." Kurenai clarified. Yamato grunted and tried to get up. "So how did Hinata figure it out?" Yamato asked while he motioned something at Haku. "She was using her Byakugan from the start to have a lookout for the archer, so when Raiga was preparing his lethal attack the environment started changing rapidly. I guess she sensed something was wrong when her vision showed that there was a huge difference in nature from our area to further ones as she was able to see further. Guess the kid's genjutsu had a limited range. Right now Hinata went after the archer. She got his location. It would be better if you can send someone to back her up," Kurenai said while taking a fighting stance. "Haku," Yamato called her. "The arrow cut my shoulder badly. I was able to stop the bleeding, but I can't use my right arm properly now. Kiba-san here got hit on the leg and his arm. He also took some nasty hit from the blast. I could help Hinata a little bit, but Kiba can't fight." Haku summarized their situation. Take Kiba out of here and come back to help me. Kurenai-san, you should go help Hinata, Yamato said while he took his sword. Are you sure? You took quite a bit of hits. Kurenai was concerned. She wanted to help Hinata true, but Yamato looked quite beaten up. Yes, I am sure. I might take some nasty hits cause of the explosion, but Raiga is low on chakra. He might have been able to catch me off guard, but he did waste a lot of chakra. Yamato replied back in a assuring voice. Kurenai mouthed thank you, then ran after her student. Come Raiga, let's finish this. This is dragging way too long for comfort. Wouldn't have said any better myself. With Hinata. Hinata knew something was wrong when the battle started to get intense. With her Byakugan, she was able to see that the sky further away from them was acting as if it was gathered on their spot, but the sky there wasn't that stormy. Suddenly she saw the pattern on the sky away from them. It was the same when Raiga used his lightning dragon. She then knew that all of them were trapped in some kind of jutsu. She yelled to warn Yamato. It did save his life, but he still took some damage. Then she saw the archer coming to her vision range. She informed Kurenai, who told her to go after the archer. She reached the top to see the guy with a weird-looking bow. At the middle section of the bow there was 2 sticks pointing inwards which looked some kind of handle, and the string of it was made of chakra. Leave it to a Hyuga to spot the target. But all this actually worked in my favor, so shall we dance, little princess? Number 5 smirked. Back at the village, an explosion rocked the village. Just like Yamato predicted, a good number of bandits came to their place, but what they didn't know was that Naruto was moved to another place, and their previous one was rigged with explosives. So, when Shino saw the chance, he triggered the explosion, killing all the bandits. What was that? Naruto said while he steered up. Naruto-san, it is good to see that you are okay. Shino greeted Naruto. Where is everyone else? Naruto said in a panicked voice. He jumped up but was stopped by Shino. They are out there fighting, but it will be unwise to join them in your condition, Shino stated, much to his own hesitation. Naruto wanted to shout him, but working with him before, he knew that he had to be calm with him rather than being edgy. Look Shino, you saw how strong the opponent was. You are fully capable and I might be able to help even if it is a little bit. You and I both know that they will need all the extra hands that they can get, Naruto said with a rigid voice. Shino thought for a while. He knew Naruto was right. He sighed and just shook his head. Your gears are there, Naruto-san. Let us make haste, but do not strain yourself. Shino gave in. Naruto smiled. With Hinata. Hinata was panting. She didn't expected this. The moment she came here, she charged towards her enemy, who called himself Number 5. But to her surprise, the bow he was using suddenly snapped into 2 and he took a hold of them by the sticks. It became a fully different weapon. A tonfa. And he was not a novice with that, so they engaged in a fierce close-range combat. Hinata was more flexible and accurate with her strikes, but her opponent had longer reach and packed power. Sometimes he would rotate the tonfa to increase the range or to change the direction of the attack. Hinata knew she couldn't fall back, cause the moment she would fall back he would switch back to his bow and winning would be harder. Hinata! Kurenai yelled, hearing that Hinata released a breath of relief. I think playtime is over, time to do my real mission. With that, Number 5 formed a ram's seal and shouted. Katsu! The side of the hill that was facing the battlefield exploded. Everyone was horrified to see a huge landslide fell over all of them who were down on the ground. Even Kurenai, who was on her way there, fell down cause of the landslide. Everyone! Hinata panicked. Do you have time to look at other? Number 5 taunted. Hinata moved just in time to dodge a lethal arrow. She cursed herself for the blunder. Now that he increased the distance, he was once again using his bow. Why did you do that? Even your own comrades were down there. Hinata was angry, something she wasn't quite familiar with. They were not my comrades. I needed something from them, more specifically from Raiga. Didn't have the chance before as the guy never let his guard down, but you guys just gave me the perfect opportunity. He grinned. The mist sword. Hinata was surprised. Yup, but I think an unmarked Byakugan will be profitable as well. Number 5 steadied his bow. Hinata shivered but resolved herself quickly and took her stance. With Naruto. While moving to the battle site, they saw the lightning dragon all the way from there. Naruto increased his pace, ignoring Shino's protest. But when they heard series of explosion and felt the ground shaking, Naruto moved so fast that Shino fell behind. Everyone, Hinata. Please be alright. Back with Hinata. Hinata was battered and exhausted. She couldn't keep up with the guy. If she got closer, He would use his tonfa, which was lethal against her unarmed taijutsu. True Gentle Fist was strong, but her chakra-enhanced attacks were no match against his chakra-enhanced weapon attacks. He was dragging the battle to tire her down, and despite knowing that she was unable to do anything. Number 5 smirked and shot a fast arrow. Hinata dodged, but she was horrified when she saw him, saying, "Checkmate." The arrow exploded and everything went white. A flash arrow. Hinata, with her Byakugan activated, took the hit hard even though she dodged. She stressed her eyes to open, just in time to see. Naruto landed on the hill just in time to see. Hinata got hit by an arrow right in her heart. The force of the arrow was so strong that it threw Hinata back. She fell from the hill, but Shino arrived just in time to catch her. "Oops. Was she your girlfriend?" Number 5 laughed but stopped when he felt the murderous aura. It was pure, it was malicious, it was so strong that he started breathing hard. Red bubbles started to appear from Naruto's body and slowly it started to make a form. His whiskers became more defined, his teeth grew, he opened his eyes and it was crimson red with glowing white slit in the middle. Red lightning started to emit from his body as well. Slowly the chaotic chakra made a full form of a fox with one tail with red lighting flickering around the chakra cloak. Naruto looked at number 5, who found it was even difficult to stand. Naruto tilted his head and smirked viciously. "I want to see your insides." OMG, how it began. Anko was celebrating her promotion to Tokubetsu Jonin. It was her, Kurenai and Yugao. They were having fun, although from time to time Anko could hear the whispers. She just disregarded them. After a while few other Jonins started to come. Seeing Asuma, Kurenai went to talk for a while and Yugao was having a conversation with 8. Suddenly a guy came and sat beside her. He was of average height and build, and he had dark brown hair tied onto a ponytail. He had a scar that ran across the bridge of his nose, which Anko found a bit sexy. "Congratulations on the promotion," the man said. You are congratulating me? So you are not one of those guys that think me as a snake whore?" Anko asked in a tipsy voice. The man just raised an eyebrow and chuckled a bit. "What's so funny? Most of the people are thinking why someone like me promoted to Tokubetsu Jonin. I bet the third had to go through lots of hassle for me," Anko said with an edgy voice. "Do you believe them?" the man said with a soft smile. "Excuse me?" Anko was now giving full attention to the guy. "Do you believe all the whispers? All the bad things people say? You got promoted to Tokubetsu Jonin with your own effort, and I am sure the shinobi populace is happy to have another tough fighter among us." The man chuckled. "Just remember what your friends think about this. And from what can I see, they are truly happy for you. Doesn't all that matter?" Anko sighed. Now she got what the man wanted. There were mostly 2 types of men she had seen, one that avoided her for different reasons and one that tried to get into her pant. She guessed that he was after the latter because no one would say something so nice to her out of the blue without wanting something in return. "So handsome, want to go celebrate somewhere private?" Anko said with a suggestive tone to see what he would do. She expected the guy to jump at the chance or to try to play a bit hard to get game. Maybe he would start flirting. What she didn't expect was that for him to spew his drink while going full tomato red. He looked at her horrified and was trying to form a sentence. Anko was so surprised at the behavior that when Kurenai came and nudged her, she jumped. "Don't scare me like that, Kure-chan," Anko said while trying to come down. Hearing the commotion, Yugao came as well. "What's wrong? You were talking to someone?" she asked as she saw her talking with someone. "Yeah, I was." She looked back to see that the guy was gone. "He ran?" She started chuckling. Slowly it turned to full-blown laughter. "This will be interesting." Iruka was running full force. He went to the bar to relax as he had a hard day. Catching Naruto was no easy task like everyone else thought it to be. The little devil knew how to avoid his pursuers. At first he viewed Naruto exactly like the villagers, but not so strongly. But slowly that kid started to take a soft spot on him. He learned that he was like him, lonely, thirsting for attention. Now Iruka would willingly admit that he liked the blonde prankster. He decided that from then he would follow his own judgment instead of listening to others. So when he came to the pub and saw some girls celebrating for something about promotion, he asked around. He didn't get any good response, so he chose to judge her by himself. At first he understood her pain. She was similar like Naruto. So he responded to her with kindness, but her last statement caught him completely off guard. She was sexy and hot. He would admit that, but one thing he knew from his shinobi career, that the sexier the kuniochi was, the more dangerous she would be. So he did the most logical thing. When he saw her distracted, he bolted. but for some reason he couldn't shake of the chill that went down his spine. Chapter 14: The True Treasure. The 9 Biju were created from the dreadful Jubi. Even though at first their hearts were in the right place, their chakra was not. And to balance that out from the nature 12 creatures, known as zodiac beasts, were born. Reiju found it was unfair how the Bijus fell victim to the darkness of the mankind, while the zodiac beasts received the kindness from the humans. After all this year, most of the Bijus' hearts became as tainted as their chakra. Now Reiju was facing Kurama, one of the strongest of them, who was laughing, not menacingly but more like he just figured out a joke. I know what you did, Reiju. You created another mindscape over mine to act as a barrier to make sure the brat doesn't come here. Maybe you were afraid that he might be tainted or his blessed power might merge with mine. But look, even with all these precautions he drew out my chakra, and so much of it, but the best part is he did it all by himself. Kurama said when his laughter slowed down. He looked at Reiju and smirked. No matter what you will do, Reiju, nothing will work. I saw the darkness in mankind. Just because one person is good and pure doesn't mean he won't be tainted. It is the other way around. Take it like this, the better a person is in heart, and in soul the higher he flies, but when his wings snaps, and trust me they always do, they fall to the ground hardest. And after tasting despair and pain, they are the ones that get twisted beyond saving. Kurama chuckled when he saw Reiju flinch for a second. This kid will also fall, maybe not today, or tomorrow, but someday his wings will broke as well. But I have to admit I am surprised to see him combining my chakra with his own blessed power. Reiju looked down for a moment as if he was in deep thought, then suddenly he started chuckling softly. You may be right in some cases, Kurama. But I think you are wrong about Naruto. His wings are strong enough not only to carry himself but also his loved ones, and in return his loved ones will make sure to protect his wings. Yes, in this world anything can happen, but for once I will bet on a human. He is different, you and I both know it. Like you said, there is darkness in everyone, but I know he will overcome his own. Reiju met Kurama's grin with his own. Then let us see how it all plays out. Kurama just shook his head. With Naruto, when Naruto heard the series of explosions and trembling of the ground that came after that, he dashed. He panicked, but for some reason he could feel all of his friends. They were alive but injured, not critically, but Hinata was in a different place than others. His heart started to feel heavy. He ran as fast as legs could. Hinata, be safe, be safe. That was all he thought. When he was able to pinpoint her location, he landed there only to see her get shot to the heart by an arrow. She fell down the cliff, but Shino caught her before she hit the ground. He saw from all the way up there that blood started coming out from her mouth. Rage. Pure rage. That's all he was feeling. He looked at the guy that had the galls to hurt his Hinata. He wanted to crush his bone one by one, leisurely so he could hear the sound of his bone breaking. He wanted to tear the guy limb by limb, slowly so he could hear him scream. He wanted to cut him open to pull out his organs painfully. While he was still alive and conscious, he would scream at him, would beg to kill him. But he wouldn't let him die, not so quickly. All these thoughts ignited a new power inside of him. He felt it, and without a second thought he embraced it. But it was not enough. He started to push pure raw lightning chakra while getting covered by that wicked one. His body hurt, but he gave no mind to that, although it gave him a sick pleasure when he saw the fear in his victim's eyes. He grinned. I want to see your insides. No. 5 dashed back and started shooting arrows hastily. He knew what Naruto was, a Jinchuriki. There was no way to go around it. His mission was to get Raiga's sword. All till now looked like it was going well until he pissed of a Jinchuriki. He would have to get the sword later. Now his main objective was to get the hell out of there alive, at any cost, if he can. When he saw his arrows couldn't penetrate his chakra cloak, he threw flash arrows and waited for them to go off. The moment it did, he ran the other side of where Naruto was. Then he heard some swooshing sound and he took a hard turn to dodge an incoming hand. It was a chakra hand. It landed on a huge stone and grinded it to dust as if it was nothing. He looked back to see, Naruto was just a few meters away from, same distance like before, but he wasn't moving, just staying there, grinning at him, taunting him. It was like a predator playing with his prey. Number 5 paled. He wasn't so sure if he could come back alive. He needed a distraction. The ground beneath him cracked. He looked down to a chakra hand came out, and grabbed his ankle so tightly that he felt his bones started cracking. He looked at Naruto in horror to see one of his hand was pointing downwards and a thick chakra pierced the ground. Before he could do anything, Naruto pulled his hand. The arm that was holding his ankle forced him to come towards him. Number 5 was trying to find a way, any way to get out of this alive, but he knew that he couldn't. He felt the arm holding his ankle tighten the grip, breaking the bones there, and some chakra was also being injected inside him, not the malice chakra, the lightning one which was making his body go numb. It was even hard to mold his chakra now. Naruto smacked him into the ground. Number 5 looked at him helplessly as Naruto put both of his hand up from where chakra arm came out and formed as a hammer, and then he started smashing him. 1 time, 2 time, he would smash him hard and then wait to see if he was conscious, then would smash him again. He didn't know how long the hellish beating continued, but it stopped after a while, which felt like eternity to him. Naruto looked at him with calculated eyes. Yes, he broke his bones, all of them maybe, just like he wanted to. Now to tear him from limb to limb, one at a time. Naruto-kun! The sweet voice that he fought for called out to him. He looked back to see Hinata was there standing, looking at him with worried eyes. Yamato was coming towards her shouting and telling her to get back. He snarled at him, and in an instant he was right in front of Hinata. Hinata was surprised at his sudden outburst of speed, but she smiled at him afterwards. Seeing Naruto grumbling, she made slow shushing sound and opened her jacket, although it was really embarrassing for her, but the situation was dire. She pointed at her heart. See, Naruto-kun, I was not injured, you saved me. She held out the Uzumaki locket, which was a bit dented. She was hit by the arrow right in the heart area, but the arrow was blunt. It was meant for her to get knocked out without injuring her, although it would have done some extensive damage, but luck was on her side as it hit the necklace, which took most of the damage. Surprisingly, it got dented a bit only, but the force still pushed her back and she received some damage from that. Hinata's face lit up like Christmas light when Naruto started sniffing her left breast. She held out her hand to touch Naruto, but Naruto moved his head back wearily and looked at her cautiously. Seeing that, Hinata shook of her embarrassment and started humming a gentle tune which seemed to calm him down a bit. She once again held out her hand, but this time he didn't back out. She was ready for the pain that would come when she would touch the chakra cloak, but to her surprise, the moment she was inches away from that, the chakra cloak vanished from there. It was still covering his arm and legs, also the chakra tail and ears were still visible, but on other areas of Naruto's body the chakra cloak seemed to be dwindled, as if the chakra itself didn't want to hurt her. She took the chance and started scratching his darkened whiskers. He started purring, indicating that he liked that. It's okay, Naruto-kun. I am here. You beat up all the bad guys. Rest now, she said gently and slowly, trying to reassure him that it was over. Hinata sat down and slowly pulled Naruto's head onto her lap. With one hand she was scratching his whiskers and with another she was rubbing his head while humming the tune. Slowly the cloak vanished, leaving a normal but battered Naruto in Hinata's lap. She smiled and gently kissed him on the cheek. Naruto purred a bit and rubbed his head against her thighs, making her blush fiercely. With Yamato. When the explosion occurred, Yamato quickly created his wood-locking wall with all his remaining chakra, not to increase the size of the wall but to harden it. Good thing that no one else was there for him to cover. After the landslide passed, he came out exhausted to see Kurenai was nursing Haku, who seemed to be in a catching duty on this mission. Minutes later they felt that, the dreadful Kyuubi's aura. They saw Shino was holding Hinata, who was coughing cause of the hit she received. Yamato immediately got the idea of what occurred, but before he could even say anything, Hinata shook Shino off and ran towards the chakra. Yamato told Kurenai to stay there and to keep an eye on the genin and Raiga, whose whereabouts was still unknown. Because of all the fights he was not as fast as his normal self, so when he reached he saw Hinata was calling out to Naruto, and he was in chakra cloak mode. Way too much. Kyuubi's chakra slipped out of the seal. He shouted at Hinata to get back, but that seemed to rile up Naruto, who, in an instant, was beside Hinata. He stopped dead on his track. One wrong move and he might hurt Hinata. He started wrecking through his brain to come up with something, anything to avoid the tragedy that he was sure to come. Wasn't he supposed to protect him from this? Wasn't that one of the reasons he started looking after this boy? All of his thoughts prevented him to see what Hinata was doing until he heard her humming. After what transpired from there, was engraved in his memory, and he knew he would forever remember this. Hinata calmed down a pissed-off powered-up Jinchuriki with just a tune and some simple touches. No fucking Wujutsus or Sharingan, nothing. The tension was too much. He fell on his butt and started laughing. With Raiga, the landslide was coming towards them. He could have dodged it, but Ranma was there. He had to protect him. He used his second lightning dragon tornado on the landslide to make a way for him to go to Ranmaru. When he reached him, it was too late, the landslide was already upon them, so he charged as much lightning as he could and used his favorite jutsu fangs of lightning, and hold it for as long as he could. When it was over, he looked back to see if Ranmaru was alright or not, and to his relief he was. But sadly he took too much damage from the rebels and his chakra was almost zero. He knew he wouldn't live for long. Ranmaru woke up to see Raiga all battered up and he couldn't feel his chakra. He moved in to re-energize him with his own chakra. Don't, Ranmaru. You don't have enough chakra, and even you give me all, this injuries will kill me anyway. Hearing Ranmaru's cries, he softened up. Live on Ranmaru, go with the Konoha shinobi, they will take care of you. But before that, could you come here? I want one last favor from you. Ranmaru moved to hear his foster father's last wish. Kurenai came to check if Raiga was alive or not. After Yamato left, she heard a loud thundering noise coming from a bit far. She came to see Raiga was looking at Ranmaru softly and shushing the kid who was crying. It broke her heart even though they were her enemies. From taking on look at Raiga, she could see his time was up. Seeing Kurenai, Raiga looked at her pleadingly. I know I am not in any position to ask for any favor, but tell the wood user that I respected him as an excellent shinobi. And if he felt anything similar to me at all, please ask him to look after Ranmaru. Take Ranmaru to him, and he will tell the rest. With the last part, he closed his eyes. Ranmaru started crying harder. Kurenai let him. The child needed to release his pain. She waited until Ranmaru fell asleep crying, then she picked him up and came back to the rendezvous point to see Yamato was holding Naruto while Hinata was on his side. She released a breath of relief. Let's go back. Back at the village after one day, Yamato was staring at Ranmaru who was fidgeting and for some reason was close to Naruto who had no idea what was happening. I respected Raiga. I will admit that he was a great fighter, and if I can I would like to honor his wish, but could you start from the beginning? Yamato said softly so he didn't scare the kid. In response, the kid just looked at Naruto and said, Nisan, could you hold out your hand? Ranmaru said politely, which all the girls found cute. Heck, even Naruto was feeling all high and mighty cause someone called him Nisan. He did, and Ranmaru took the Kiba swords from his bag, and before anyone could do anything he shoved the swords into Naruto's hand. Suddenly lightning started coming out the swords and formed the shape of Raiga. Everyone's eyes almost popped out. Seeing that, Raiga chuckled a bit. Now this is a scene I think I will enjoy in my afterlife. But as much as I wished to talk and discuss, I wasn't able to put too much chakra. In short, I put my remaining chakra here to do one last thing. You boy. Pointing at Naruto. What's your name? Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto replied, but he was sweating a lot. This guy was a Miss Swordsman, meaning he knew how to kick his ass, and now his ghost came to haunt him. This is one of the tradition for those who wielded Kiba. The owner can pass it down to the last person who impressed him in case he or she dies untimely. And to me you did that. You are the first person who was able to withstand one of the Kiba's strongest attacks. So I will pass Kiba to you in return. All I ask is that give me your word that you will take care of Ranmaru, treat him like your family. That is my only request, as one swordsman to other. Naruto nodded violently. I promise I will take care of him like my own brother, and I never back down on my promise. Seeing his determination in his eyes, Raiga chuckled. Looking at Ranmaru, his face saddened a bit. Find the life I couldn't give you, my son. With that, the lightning vanished and Naruto shook for a second. He looked at his hand to see a bit blood came out, and it fell on Kiba, which glowed when it got his blood and absorbed it, after which it glowed for a second time and calmed down. Nobody knew what to say after the bizarre situation. It was a ghost, wasn't it? Naruto asked. After that, his eyes rolled to the back of his head, and he was once again to his dreamland. Few hours later, Naruto woke up to see Hinata was beside him chatting with Haku, and Ranmaru was close to them while listening raptly. His groan told them about him being conscious again. Naruto-kun, you okay? Hinata asked while Haku giggled a bit. Don't worry, Hinata-chan, he is fine. He thought he was possessed by a ghost. Naruto narrowed his eyes but didn't have a comeback for that. He looked at Ranmaru, who was looking as if he was out of place. Yo, little guy, how are you feeling? He lost his father figure, and now he is on to his way to a new village which he has no idea about. But I think he is fine. Haku playfully answered for Ranmaru, who blushed, and Naruto looked pissed. Alright guys, break it up. Yamato came into the room. Ranmaru here helped us to finish our original mission. He gave me the whereabouts of the place where bandits kept their lootings, and luckily we found our requested item. Kurenai and the rest also entered the room. It is broken, so we can take a peek at it, right? Kiba asked curiously. Well, it was damaged and I happened to see what was inside accidentally, but here you go. All the young ones came and took a look inside the box, which was put into a table by Yamato. There was a picture and a worn-out wristband made of marbles. What the heck, this is it? Why did the old guy tell this was a treasure? Damn, we almost died for these junks. Kiba got pissed and left. Almost everyone left feeling a bit disappointed except Naruto, who was looking at the picture intently. The picture was of a guy, who looked younger version of Karasher, who was laughing while hugging a woman tightly and the said woman was kissing his cheek. For some reason he felt something as if the picture was giving him a déjà vu. He had no idea which part, but it scared him. He went back to his friends and tried to forget about it. Alright guys, we will be going back to the village after we have a decent meal and rest, so pack up your gears. Kurenai ordered out. Hokage's office, there were no problems in their way back. Naruto carried Ranmaru and they reached their home a bit faster than their expected time. Now they are in front of Hokage, who was rubbing his head. Kurenai, Yamato, Naruto and Ranmaru stay, others can leave. Hearing that, the rest of the genins left hesitatingly. Yamato, I don't know, should I keep sending you and Naruto to C-rank missions to bring more beneficial factors to the village, or should stop you from doing any, in order to save the ones you are supposed to back up? Yamato and Naruto blushed a bit hearing that. So, let me get the facts straight. You faced another Miss Swordsman who died being betrayed by his fellow comrade, who was pulverized by a QB-empowered Naruto, and who it seemed was stopped by Hinata singing lullaby to him. Oh yes, let's not forget Raiga, who was on the verge of dying, used the honor code of Shinobi to make sure you take care of Ranmaru, and at the end he gave Naruto the ownership of Kiba, one of the legendary Miss Swords which now cannot be accessed by any other person. Sandame looked at the Jonin to confirm all of those. Hokage-sama, why not let Ranmaru join our team? I mean, we already have 2 members and with him we will have 3, a proper functioning team. What do you say? Naruto asked with a hopeful voice. Naruto-kun, it is not that easy. There are things you have to follow, and by the look of it, although Ranmaru wants to be a Konoha shinobi, he has very little training on shinobi skills unlike Haku, and so it is better if he starts from academy. And not to mention the paperwork that will come with it if I just put him directly in your team without any proper reasoning. Hiruzen sighed. Even though it would have been better that way, it would cause too many problems and suspicions. Let's make a deal. You assign Ranmaru in our team and I and Haku would do our best to shape him up faster than any academy can. Naruto insisted. He had a trump card, but he didn't want it to use it so soon. Naruto, I cannot do that, there will be 2. Hiruzen replied firmly, but was stopped when Naruto brought out his trump card. I will tell you the secret to beat the paperwork. In a few seconds, Yamato was holding some papers confirming that Ranmaru was now officially on his team. Kurenai and Ranmaru was watching the whole scene played out, and truthfully it was funny as hell. Hiruzen looked at Naruto with eyes that was screaming for the secret. Naruto sighed and made the sign for Shadow Clone. Hiruzen looked at him puzzled, but then it all clicked. The god of shinobi, feared by the evil, respected by his enemies, sensei of the legendary Sanins, started banging his head on his table while weeping. Why? Everyone's sweat dropped except for Naruto, who was grinning madly. Sometime later, Karashi was leaving. He got his treasure back. Now it was time for him to hit the road again. But he stopped when he saw the blonde kid ahead of him. I thought you were going to celebrate with your friends about the tough mission. Sorry about that, kid, I didn't know. He was stopped when Naruto softly asked, who was she? The woman on the picture. Karashi's face saddened, but he replied, my late fiancé. Why? What happened? Naruto asked again. Karashi's face hardened. Why do you want to know, brat? Naruto looked at him sadly. In the picture, your eyes are full of life and hope. They were reflecting all of yourself, and now here you are wearing a mask. When I saw the picture I knew there was something similar, but at first I didn't know what. It is your smile. They are same like mine. You smile now like how I used to. Before I found out about Hinata-chan and Irika-sensei. Long story, brat. Let's take a seat first. They moved at one side of the road and sat on a bench. Now where do I begin? Let's start from the beginning. I was an orphan in Takigakure, a small shinobi village. As an orphan I didn't receive much attention, so I wanted to be the best to prove that I can be someone other than a nobody. I worked hard till I dropped, and it all started paying off. My first friend who became my fiancée. She was also an orphan who supported me all the way. I became a respected jonin and a well-known figure throughout the shinobi side as well as the civilian side. Karasha paused as he looked to the sky sadly. But one day, we were attacked by some strong enemies. They were after someone in our village. I had a bad feeling about that attack. I wanted to stay in the village to protect my fiancée as she was pregnant, but she reassured me everything was going to be fine. So I left to confront the enemy with some other strong shinobis as well as with our kage. It was a bloodbath. There were 2 of them, but they were strong. At the end we won. One of them died, other retreated. We lost some good man and I lost my arm in order to protect the kage. But when I came back... Karasha paused again. He closed his eyes, but Naruto could see the tears leaking. Everything was gone. My fiancé was killed along with some other people by one of the enemy's technique. I didn't know the detail of the technique but didn't care. Everyone said it was going to be okay. They even nominated me to take a seat in the council. One of the thing I dreamed of, but it didn't matter. The person I wanted in my life more than my dream was gone. What's the point? All the acknowledgments, honor and medals wouldn't bring back my true treasure. She was gone, and so was my soul and my will. After that I left the village. I just wander around. All that left of her is the memories and a few stuffs like this. With that he took out the picture and the wristband and looked at those yearningly. Well, that is my life story, kid. In this world, you don't know when you are going to die, or worse, when your precious one will. So make sure to find and hold on to your real treasure. With that he stood up and started heading towards the village gate, without even looking back. Why don't you blame anyone, the villagers or those guys? Naruto yelled at the retreating back. I am not a coward, kid. The only thing I blamed and still blame is my hesitation for not following my intuition, my weakness for not being strong enough, and my blindness for not seeing my actual dream, a life with her. Karasha gave Naruto a smile, a true sad smile, one that portrayed all of his feelings then. Naruto waited till Karashi's figure vanished. With Hinata and the rest of the members that did the C rank mission had a small celebration for surviving the mission, which turned into an A rank. Naruto left saying that he needed to do something. After an hour or 2, they were done and Hinata was returning home when she saw her boyfriend on a tree a bit far away from her compound. Naruto-kun. Hinata called him out but stopped when she saw his pained look. Before she could ask, he jumped and landed behind Hinata. He wrapped his arm around her waist while burying his nose into her neck. Hinata would have turned crimson if she didn't feel him shaking slightly. She knew even if she would ask what happened, Naruto wouldn't tell her, not now. So she just stood there and was patting his hand. I am not like you, Karashijiji. I will be stronger, more than now. He whispered and buried his nose deeper. I will protect my true treasure. Omake falling for a teacher. So what's wrong, Anko? Lately you seem to be up to something. Kurenai asked in an accusing tone. She, Anko and Yugao were having a girls' night out. Well, I found this one interesting guy. Anko replied back absent-mindedly. What? Both Kurenai and Yugao shouted. You are falling for a man? Yugao asked. Anko. Hearing the seriousness in her voice, Anko looked at Kurenai. Is he a good person? Flashback. Anko was following Irika, who just caught the prankster. She was a specialist in TNI department. Getting information was a piece of cake for her. She found out the mysterious kind person just in one day. She saw how Irika was dealing with Naruto, the Jinchuriki. He got mad when he saw Naruto did wrong. Oh, how sexy he looked when he was mad. She got a bit turned on seeing his angry face. It didn't contain any malice or evil, just anger for the brat, for his well-being. After the Jinchuriki quieted down and mumbled an apology, he smiled warmly and took him to a ramen stand. Flashback ends well. If he liked the Jinchuriki who everyone hated, and he did it because he cared while giving no considerations towards those who thought what he was doing was wrong. So he was definitely a good person. Scratch that, he was a great person. Yeah, I think so. Like hell, she would admit that strongly. Better not to give too much information to Kurenai and Yugao. Well, if he is a good person, then that's great. Kurenai smiled warmly. Well, is he good looking? Yugao asked. Flashback. It was one of those days. When Naruto pranked one of the Umbu hideouts, she would thank the kid later. He swapped the signboards of the bathhouses. Anko came there because Yugao dragged her. When she and few other female members entered the bathhouse, they saw the males, but her eyes were glued to scarred Chunin. He had a semi-build tan body, but with his hair wet and down. He was looking like a rough warrior, and all the scars in his body was enhancing that look. She almost jumped him. But the screaming and shouting stopped her from getting any more good view, but she did stole a peek at his ass. Later she learned why he was there. One of the Umbu invited Irika because he looked after his kid. Flashback ends. Damn right he is good looking, one of the sexiest ass I have ever seen. But she just shrugged. Well, guess you should go for him. Karina asked. Anko just gaped at her when she heard that. What? I don't like him that much, I just found him interesting. She denied too quickly. Anko, when we asked was he a good person, you had this very soft and admiring look on your face, and when we asked about his looks, you were openly drooling. Yugo chuckled. Damn. Anko cursed her girlfriends for being so observant. So who is he? Karina asked. He is a teacher. Chapter 15, Team 5. Hiruzen was relaxing in his study room. Feeling the presence of the person he was waiting for, he called out. Enter. The door opened to reveal Yamato in his casual dress. Thank you for coming, Yamato. Yamato bowed. It was right after the small dinner party they had. When everyone left to their own house, Yamato had a different destination. While briefing earlier about the mission, Hiruzen gave small subtle signs about meeting later, and he knew why. Well, he couldn't blame the old man for this, but he sure was surprised when he figured that he would had to meet him in his home, which in some cases might be considered more private than the Hokage's office. I am pretty sure you know why I called you here late this night. It might take a while, so why not relax yourself, Yamato? Hiruzen pointed at the chair in front of him. Yamato accepted the offer and sat there. So where should I start from, Sandaime-sama? Yamato asked politely. Why not start from Naruto? I got worried when you said he pulled out a huge amount of Kyuubi's chakra. Just how much did he pull? Hiruzen asked. Chakra cloak. Hearing that, Hiruzen paled. I don't know how, but he shouldn't be able to pull that much chakra, and yet he did. I even asked our sealing team to have a checkup on him, and they said everything seemed to be in perfect condition. Hiruzen rubbed his temple. This was getting out of hand. He thought that maybe he ought to call Jiraiya to come back sooner. That is too much. You got any theory behind it? Hiruzen asked while he took out his smoke. As far as I know, there are only a few ways that a Jinchuriki can call out the beast's power despite the sealing. First would be death-like situations. When they feel like they might going to die despite the sealing, the tailed beasts seem to push out their chakra to the Jinchuriki. I don't know the exact reason, but it is not like the tailed beast can die anyway. Second reason would be hate or rage. That ignites the chakra, and the Jinchurikis tend to pull out the chakra subconsciously. Yamato explained his thought. So we can say Naruto is following the second route unknowingly? Hiruzen sighed. It is much more than that, I think. Yamato said, making the Sandaime concerned. How so? When Naruto is angry, his bloodline seem to respond to his rage as well. His storm attacks get more devastating, and he doesn't act like a normal angry person. Hiruzen raised an eyebrow hearing this. What do you mean by that? When people get angry, they tend to lash out at their opponents, not thinking about themselves while becoming unaware about their surroundings with only one thing in mind: destroy the target at all costs. But with all due respect, Sandaime-sama, you know that there is one more way people tends to act when they are angry. Hiruzen turned white hearing that. He almost dropped his pipe. You don't mean? His voice was low, as if he was afraid to hear the answer. Yes, the one that you dubbed as the silent anger. Hearing that, Hiruzen leaned on his chair and groaned. Like father, like son. Everyone had their angry side, their dark side. The mighty fourth was no exception. Hiruzen was able to witness his anger only once, and when he did, he was glad that Minato was a composed ninja. It was during the last war when a group of highly trained IWA shinobi headed towards one of the Suna camp. Kushina and her team intercepted them, but unexpectedly there was an S-class shinobi there. Even though Kushina was a strong shinobi, but at that time she was a high A class, most of her teammates were killed while others were able to retreat except her. She held them at bay, but from what Hiruzen heard, the S-ranked IWA shinobi was toying with her, but before anything could happen, Minato reached there. Seeing Kushina's condition, he snapped. He never learned what happened after that, but when he reached there, he was horrified to see the state all the IWA shinobi were. Death would have been a better option. They were mangled beyond healing but were kept alive. What scared him the most was the expression on Minato's face. There was a lingering smile on his lips while his face was calm and content, something he was glad that he didn't see twice. How many times did Naruto become like that? Hiruzen asked tiredly. 2 times. One was his fight with Neji, and the second time was on the last mission when he went into chakra cloak mode. Hiruzen wanted to smack his head. The silent anger, as he dubbed, was different than normal raging. Unlike the normal state of angry mind, this one acts differently. When they get really angry, they become calm and collected rather than blind and raging. Instead of killing their target, they tend to toy with them and put fear and desperation in their mind while fighting with a calm mind. Do you have any idea why? Although he knew the answer, he just wanted to be sure. Hinata. The reply confirmed his belief. Let's wait till Jiraiya comes. Also, speaking of Hinata, what exactly happened? In the report it was said that she calmed down Naruto when he was in chakra cloak mode. Do you have any ideas? Nope, not a single clue. Hiruzen's sweat dropped hearing the answer. Then what about the person named number 5? When I found him, he was beyond saving. Most of his bones were crushed, and he was suffering heavily from internal bleeding. The only thing I could do was to end his misery. Although I took his weapons. He gave a scroll to Hiruzen. It is sealed there. I do not trust it with the investigation department because Danzo might get his hand on this. What Hinata said that the guy was working as an undercover to get Raiga's swords. Also, I had a hunch for which village he was working for, and it was solidified when I asked Ranmaru. Yamato looked a bit uncomfortable before answering. It was Lightning Country. Before joining Raiga's group, number 5 said he was a missing nin from Kumo. He even wanted to capture Hinata alive when he saw she was a main branch member. Those damn Kumo nins, for now keep the weapon here. I will see what I can do about it. And also, did you test Ranmaru's bloodline? Hokage took the weapon scroll and brought out the weapons. From the test, what I can say is that his bloodline gives him the ability to see through walls, cast irresistible genjutsu which can even counter Byakugan. What he said to me that he can see the physical life force inside a human's body to check their status of being alive or dead. Also, being able to see a person's life form, he can predict a series of attacks that an opponent uses against him. Yamato explained. Are you thinking what I am thinking about his bloodline? Hiruzen groaned. Although we cannot be sure at this point, but yes, I think so too. I also made sure the test results, and everything else is hidden well, and here is the only original copies. Yamato said while giving Hiruzen some notes. Things just seem to get tougher when it comes to Naruto. Next morning, Naruto was remodeling his room with the help of Haku and Ranmaru. The third Hokage decided it would be better if Ranmaru also lived with them. Because of that, they also rented the room next to them. They broke down the wall and combined the 2 rooms into one. Now they are remodeling the whole place. Sometime later, Hinata came, as their team had the day off, and started helping them. He wanted to use Shadow Clone, but the girls decided against it, saying it was better as they wanted to enjoy the group work. Guess you guys are working well together, Yamato said as he came through the broken door. You guys are remodeling the whole apartment, it seems. Yeah, we are all making separate rooms for everyone, Naruto replied back while he was concentrating how to paint the wall without messing it up. Well, there is something you guys should know. Yamato's words took everyone's attention. As you know, you were made into a team, but it is not official yet. In order to do that, every team had to go through some kind of test, which I am going to follow as well. But this test will be unlike any other test, so I will give the full team 1 week training time. You can use the training ground 15 if you want, but I won't be helping any of you, you are on your own. I will come and pick all of you up at the start of the next week at 7:00. With that he left. Wow, a team test, did you had it too, Hinaheim? Naruto asked Hinata. Why yes, Naruto-kun, it was right after our team was selected. We had to give a T-test in order to be an actual genin. It was hard, but if it is you guys, I know you will pass. Hinata replied with a smile. Did your Jonin instructor give time to prepare? Haku asked. Yes, Kurenai-sensei gave us a day to prepare. Hinata told Haku. A day? And Yamato-sensei is giving us a week. This sounds troubling. Haku said thoughtfully. Nah, we will be fine, because we rock. Naruto said while bumping fist in the air. Maybe because Naruto and Ai-san and Hakune-chan is already strong, so he wants me to have enough time to be prepared. Ranmaru gave his opinion. Everyone looked at him. I guess we should start training as soon as we can. Haku pointed out while she went to get her gears. Hey, Hinaheim, would you mind if you come with us? I will let my clones do all the work here. Naruto asked Hinata with puppy dog eyes. Hinata smiled and replied that she would love to and that she would have gone anyway. Training ground, this doesn't feel right. From what Hinata-chan told me, the Jonin instructors take the exam mainly to see the teamwork and the students' capabilities. Why does Yamato-sensei want us to go through the test now? Is it just for Ranmaru or there is something more? Haku was thinking deeply while looking at Naruto, who was teaching Ranmaru about the body flicker jutsu. She talked a bit more about the test with Hinata and that got her thinking. Hinata-chan, is it okay if you help Ranmaru with something? Haku asked Hinata, who was going through some taijutsu scrolls. Sure, Haku-chan. How can I help? Hinata asked without looking away from the scroll. Something doesn't feel right about this test, so I want Ranmaru to be ready for anything. I will ask Naruto to teach him the basic jutsu while you teach him enough taijutsu to defend himself. I will work on his chakra and powers. Haku explained her plan for the test. Only if you would spar with me sometimes like you do with Naruto. Hearing that, Haku raised her eyebrow, but Hinata just giggled softly. Alright, I also wanted to go against your taijutsu. Haku grinned. Few days later. For a few days they had been training Ranmaru to the fullest, but from time to time Naruto and Haku would spar with each other to sharpen their skills as well. First it was Naruto who had been teaching Ranmaru the basic jutsu Kawarimi, Shanshin and Clone Jutsu. He even took him to Iruka's place one day to give Ranmaru a better idea of the jutsu, but for some reason he looked tired a bit. Iruka was pleased to have a student who for once was listening to him intently and was asking decent questions. It didn't take much long for Ranmaru to learn the 3 basic jutsu, although they were easy, but the time he needed to master the jutsu was incredible. According to Iruka, he was complete opposite of Naruto. Ranmaru had less chakra but more control and focus, much like a Hyuga, so for him learning any jutsu that required small amount of chakra was easy for him. After learning those, Naruto wanted him to learn more jutsu, but Haku told him to keep on training him on that area as he needed experience with the jutsu. After that it was Haku's turn, who helped Ranmaru on the chakra control with the help of Hinata. Surprisingly, he managed to complete the tree climbing exercise in 2 days, but he was stuck with the water walking one. Haku also trained him with his abilities. She was not sure if it was bloodline or not because even Hinata never heard of any kind of bloodline like that. His genjutsu was unique, but unfortunately not everyone was good with genjutsu, and the only person who could teach him was busy with her own team. Ranmaru's second ability was a bit like Sharingan, but instead of seeing the chakra to predict an opponent's attack, he saw life force. And also there was the fact that Ranmaru himself didn't know the full capabilities of his own powers. So after the chakra exercise, what Haku did was to make Ranmaru go through all the things that he learned from Raiga. Lastly it was Hinata, but she didn't have too much time on her hand as she was busy with her own team and clan. Even though with all of these complications, she came and taught Ranmaru about taijutsu from time to time. But from what she saw was that Ranmaru was more like a strategist than frontliner. He was not good with taijutsu, heck, he was not good in physical prowess. Seeing that Hinata just gave him some light exercise for him to perform regularly so that his body could be more durable, and taught him some basics of a simple taijutsu form, the crane style. They just had 2 more days left for their test. Haku went to have a spar match against Hinata while Naruto and Ranmaru went to see Iruka, only to find the reason behind Iruka's tiredness. That was something Naruto and Ranmaru would never forget. After that they went back to the training ground to have some simple spars. But Naruto had to admit, Ranmaru's genjutsu was one pain in the ass. He was glad that Ranmaru was on his team. Day of the test, Naruto, Haku and Ranmaru landed on an unknown training ground led by Yamato, who came early at the morning to pick them up. But the whole way he didn't say anything. After reaching their destination they met an Umbu in the clearing who was wearing a cloak to hide his mask and hair. Finally Yamato broke the silence. Well, I know you are all nervous, but try to be at ease. Every team before forming had a test to prove if they are capable enough. Even though I know you all are more than capable, I still want all of you to go through this. The test is simple. I will give you an item and this Umbu, who will go by Alpha, will try to track you down and retrieve it. Your job is to have the item in your position till sunset. You will have only 10 minutes head start. Any questions? What will happen if we lose? Haku asked. Then instead of forming as a real team, we will still be going as the backup team. By the way, you are allowed to go all out, but you cannot exit this training ground. No need to worry, as this is one huge training ground, so don't panic and follow your intuitions. Good luck. With that, Yamato jumped back, indicating that the test is about to start. The mysterious Umbu threw a scroll at them. Naruto took the scroll and was carefully watching the Umbu. The atmosphere was tense, and it became more so when the Umbu raised his arm. Then he snapped his fingers. 5 minutes later, one of Naruto's clones was carrying Ranmaru on his back as all of them were dashing to go deeper into the woods. Yamato-sensei is right, this is one huge training ground. Didn't thought there would be small forest here? Naruto asked while he was checking out the area. Everyone stop, Haku said while she stopped running. What's wrong, Hakune? Ranmaru asked. Guys, I think the main objective is different than what Yamato-sensei told us. Haku told everyone. What do you mean by that? We got the scroll and we don't have time until that Umbu catches us, Naruto argued. Exactly, remember what Yamato-sensei told us, follow our intuition. I think the main objective is not to protect the scroll but what measures we take to protect it. Yamato-sensei said we can go full power, meaning that the Umbu who is following us is quite strong. So we have to decide what we should do. Haku explained. So you are telling us whether we stand and fight with all we got or put every technique from our arsenal to avoid him at all costs. Naruto summarized Haku's explanation. But this is an Umbu we are talking about and maybe an elite one. Ranmaru pointed out. Exactly, so that is why I am saying not to take half measures. Either we hide or we fight. So what do you guys think? Haku looked at her teammates. Naruto and Ranmaru looked at each other, and then back at Haku. 10 minutes later. Alpha was tracking his targets. Their traces led him to a somewhat an open field in the forest. When he arrived in the field, he was immediately attacked by 3 Naruto. So they are going for a frontal attack. Alpha intercepted them with taijutsu. He ducked and rushed ahead, but one Naruto who received the full attack and went poof. The other 2 surrounded him and one went for his chest and the other went for his leg. Alpha jumped to dodge the lower attack while he kicked the other Naruto on the head to counter his flying attack. But while he was on the air, he heard a slight screeching sound and all his senses went on high alert. He swapped with the Naruto he kicked and saw him getting pierced by an lightning-charged kunai. He jumped to dodge another one, but when he landed, the last Naruto held his legs and the third kunai came right at his face. He ducked with immense speed, but his cloak got torn apart by that, revealing his mask and hair. He took out his kunai and cut the last clone. Nice strategy, one must say. Charging with clones while you guys attacked me from far. Alpha praised their effort. So I guess instead of running, all of you decided to face me head on? Well, running around while removing all our traces till sunset sounded boring, so why not just face the problem directly? Besides, even if we lose the test in the end, we will all be in the same team. Whether it is on an actual team or the backup team, doesn't matter to us. Naruto pointed out after coming out from the forest. Haku and Ranmaru came after him and stood beside him. Besides, it seems we took the right choice, at Kakashi-sensei? There was no way we could have outsmarted you regarding on tracking. Haku grinned. Wait. How? Kakashi stumbled on his words. I wasn't traveling with Zabuza-sama just for show, you know. While it was true I usually avoided direct fights, I was taught to look underneath the underneath. The fact that Yamato-sensei told us to go all out means me and Ranmaru can use our bloodlines, which we are supposed to hide. Only a handful of people knows about that. Haku explained. Wow, nicely done. Guess. Before Kakashi could finish. Also, the fact that no one else has gravity-defying silver hair also solidified my theory. Hearing that, Kakashi slumped his shoulders. The hair gave me away, didn't it? Kakashi asked in a dejected tone. All 3 nodded. Well, guess I won't need this mask anymore. With that, Kakashi removed his mask and looked directly at them. He was wearing a blank headband which was covering his Sharingan eye like usual. So let's start, shall we? No sooner had he said, Naruto made 5 shadow clone and all of them charged at him, and seeing that, Kakashi jumped back to get some distance. Yamato told him not to hold back, and knowing these kids, he knew Yamato was right. Kakashi knew who to target first. But when he looked at their team, he was surprised and pleased at the same time. Naruto was in front, who already had drawn Kiba, while Haku and Ranmaru kept their distance from Naruto. Ranmaru was weak, he knew it, but with Haku beside him things got harder. Even though he knew in taijutsu he could easily overcome Haku, but wouldn't risk it as she was good with senbans and ninjutsu. Also, he was not sure if he could pass Naruto without using his Sharingan. Guess I have to go serious as well. With that, Kakashi strengthened his stance. Kirigakure no Jutsu. Kakashi made his move. Slowly the area was filled with thick mist. He knew shaking off Haku would be hard, but one-on-one he would easily win. Even though he said he was going all out, he was still a jonin, so he had to hold back a bit. With that in mind, he made one shadow clone who went to one side but made some small noise on purpose. All the clones heard that and followed him. Seeing the chance, he shined close to where Haku and Ranmaru was and dashed towards Ranmaru, but when he was close his eyes widened when he heard both Haku and Ranmaru grinned and shouted together. Hayatan, showering snow! Kakashi took the hit full on. It was as if even his bones were shivering, but before he could take any measure he felt 2 of the shadow clone coming at him. Seeing that one dive to get his leg, he jumped, and saw the other clone jumped as well. But before Naruto could use that clone to jump higher and use his attack, Kakashi threw Shrunken to dispel it. Damn! Naruto cursed, seeing he missed a good chance to get a strong hit on Kakashi. Kakashi landed a bit far away from them. He could still feel his body shaking. Suddenly it hit him. He checked the surrounding to be sure. The mist was getting thicker and one could feel the water in the air. He knew who and why increased the moist in the air, but before he could use anything to countermeasure it, he heard Naruto yelling, "Storm release, laser circus!" Naruto didn't use full power on the attack as it was meant to charge up the entire place to trap Kakashi, who felt the whole area getting electrified because of the heavy moisture. He didn't waste any time and started making the hand seals: ox, rabbit, monkey, dragon, rat, bird, ox, snake, dog, tiger, monkey. Chidori. He used his signature move to draw the lightning to his jutsu rather than his body, which worked, but the lightning was strong. It started spreading from his hand. He charged up his attack with surrounding lightning and smashed it to the ground. The area shook because of the impact. The mist started to clear up. He had to move away, but he felt his body was feeling heavy. Weird. He looked at his body, and to his surprise there were many needles sticking out. Guess this was your plan from the beginning, huh? Kakashi asked Naruto, who was now standing few meters ahead of him with his kiba out. Yup. While you were busy trying to get to Ranmaru or fighting me off, real Hakune was hitting you with needles, and because of the mist you couldn't pinpoint her location without Sharingan, and the frost attack that hit you numbed your body so you didn't feel the needles hitting you. And now that you are all worn out, I am pretty sure you don't want to go head-on with me on Kenjutsu. Naruto cheekily replied. What he didn't tell him was that Ranmaru was pinpointing Kakashi's location to Haku through the thick mist. Don't count me out yet. I am not a jonin for nothing. Saying his part, Kakashi toughened his stance. Naruto took his stance as well, but to his surprise Kakashi loosened up. Well, guess this means all of you passed the test, Kakashi said with a smile. Huh, what do you mean? Naruto said, surprised. Well, from here your sensei will take over, and I am pretty sure he will be here soon. True to his words, in less than a minute Yamato came there. Seeing Yamato, Haku and Ranmaru came out from the forest. You guys did really well. You don't know, but this forest is actually for observing duels between Chunin for the promotion to Elite Chunin, so the whole battle I was able to observe, and I must say I am really impressed the way all of you used your strong points while covering each other's weaknesses. And your hunch was right, I gave this test to see what measures you would take to complete a tough mission without me, Yamato said with a proud voice. Everyone beamed up hearing that. Guess all I can say now is that, welcome to Team 5. Owen Miki, the aftermath, best night ever. Enko grinned, but Irika only grumbled. After all this time last night she was finally able to bag Irika, although with underhanded methods. Come on baby, we both enjoyed it, so don't be grumpy, rather you should be proud of taking the virginity of one of the most sexist kunoichi. Enko laughed. Or are you telling me that you will leave this poor girl right after ravaging her, you monster? Enko sniffed, but she knew she wasn't fooling anyone. I ravaged you? Then please tell me why I am here in bed groaning while you are practically glowing and enjoying yourself. Irika finally replied. Were the snakes necessary? He asked in a tired tone. Duh, you won't go down quietly, I mean come on, I was practically naked and pinned you down. But no, you and your moral. I know you like me, so what kept you? Enko's jolly voice was replaced by a concerned one. Doubts started to fuel her minds. What if she messed up big time? Enko, yes, I was attracted to you. I mean, you are powerful as well as a beautiful kunoichi, and anyone would be lucky to have you. I didn't wanted you to be rash, since I thought that the crush you had for me would pass away eventually, because if you wanted you could have found a better man. I am just a regular average shunin. I was sure someone like you. He couldn't finish because Enko pounced on him. That's it. We are going for another session, Enko said huskily. Wait. Didn't you hear what I said? Irika flipped so Enko was under him, but before she could comment about their position he jumped out of the bed but wobbled when landed. Well, it was understandable when their first night was so long and rough. Irika-kun, you won me over for your kindness and honesty, something that is rare in our world. So just like you think that I can get better men, I fear the same. So let us put our fear and doubts aside, because knowing you I can sincerely say that I am the lucky one. Enko said all this in sincere voice but sighed when she saw Irika was backing down slowly. Fine, have it that way, summoning jutsu. Enko grinned evilly. No! Not the snakes again. Irika tried to run away but his legs were caught by Enko's snakes. Stop your whining, I don't see you complaining when we are actually doing it, Heck, you act total 180-degree opposite. Now be a good boy and put your mouth to a better use. Will I even survive the first day? Chapter 16, Strength and Weakness. Let me say it again, congratulations on making it to the new team. Yamato smiled softly. It was next day after the test. Yamato treated them to a nice restaurant for doing so wonderful in the test. Now they were on training ground 15 for their first official meeting as Team 5. Excitement was written on everyone's faces. Before starting our today's main discussion, I want to give you guys some warnings. Hearing that, everyone became more focused. For Haku and Ranmaru, you had to follow the same codes like before. Haku, no ice jutsu unless tough calls, and same for Ranmaru. We still don't know full power of Ranmaru's abilities, and we never heard of any bloodlines like that. So you have to be extra careful. You can use your genjutsu Ranmaru, but be more discreet about it. Haku and Ranmaru nodded. For Naruto, you can use everything else except Kiba. What? Why? Naruto protested with a frown. Because Kiba is a valuable asset in Kiri. If anyone learns that you have one of the mist swords, you will become a target of many dangerous people. So unless the situation is dire, do not use Kiba. I know it is not fair, but until you are strong enough to fully utilize Kiba, you have to follow this, Naruto. Yamato explained to Naruto, who was clearly depressed. Now with that out of the way, there is one more thing I want to ask you guys. You guys know about Chunin exam, right? Well, guess what? This year it will be held here in Konoha. So do you guys want to participate in it? Yamato asked, even though he knew the answer. Of course, Yamato-sensei. I think it will give us a great experience. If Naruto and I and Hakune goes, so will I. Well, I knew all of you would say yes, but still wanted to confirm. Now the exam will be held at the end of the next month, meaning you guys have less than 2 months to prepare yourself. I would suggest no more mission, only strict training. With that comes our today's discussion. I will be direct. Being a Chunin means you got to have experience, strength, and the ability to lead. Experience means you got to have mission experience, as well as different kinds of battle experience, so if any time a mission goes south, you know what to do. Strength is something you need because when you become a Chunin, you will be doing high-level missions. Sometimes you might have to go with Jonin to help them out as well. You cannot do any of these unless you don't have power to back you up in the battle. And the last one, the ability to lead, means you got to have skills to lead a team when one is assigned to you, and also you need to be quick-witted and crafty for that. You guys still with me? Yamato asked. Seeing everyone nodding back with vigor, he continued. Now as for you guys, Ranmaru, I will be direct. You are the weakest link in the team, for now. You don't have enough experience on the field, and as for strength, you have high potential, but you have to train hard to sharpen them. Also, you are too young and green for leading. Naruto, I can say you are quite experienced as a genin. And in the strength department, you might be one of the toughest genin I have come around. But you still lack on the leadership area. You have a tendency to charge at the battle without properly evaluating the situation. And Haku, truthfully, I would say you already have all the 3 areas covered. You are experienced, smart, and strong Kunoichi. But there is always room for improvement. Yamato explained. He continued, so what I want you guys to do now is to discuss with one another about your own strengths and weaknesses and what can you do to contribute in the team. Also decide which area you want to improve and how you plan to do that for the upcoming exam. Take your time, I will meet you after lunch. With that he left. So, ramen anyone? After their lunch at Ichiraku's, they went back to the training ground, all the while discussing about the given topic. They didn't have to wait long for Yamato. So, did you discuss among yourselves about what I told you? Seeing them all smiling and nodding, he grinned. Then let's start with Naruto. What are your weaknesses, strengths, and how do you want to become stronger? Let's not forget your contribution towards your team. Naruto rubbed the back of head. For my awesome sides, I am strong at lightning jutsus and kenjutsu. Also, I can use shadow clones in lots of ways. I can even use them in information gathering. Also, my bloodline storm release packs quite a punch, but I am still working on it. As for weaknesses, I am not good at countering strong genjutsu. Also not good in hardcore strategic battles, I suppose. As for the team, I can be the heavy damage dealer and the frontliner. To get stronger, I want to focus on kenjutsu and on my bloodline techniques. Guess that's all for me. Nicely said, Naruto. So who wants to go next? Yamato questioned the other two. Ranmaru stepped up and seeing that Yamato motioned him to go on. Well, for starters, I am not experienced in shinobi battles as much as Naruto and Ai and Hakune, but my strength lies in my unique abilities. I can cast some strong genjutsu and I am working on tracking. My main weakness is my inexperience and also the lack of knowledge on shinobi arts. I want to be the genjutsu expert and tracker on our team, Ranmaru said with determined voice, which relived Yamato, as he thought that his earlier speech might have diminished Ranmaru's spirit. He was glad that it didn't. Yes, Ranmaru, you need time and experience, and with that I am sure you can be as good as your other teammates. So, Haku, it is your turn, Yamato said to Haku, who smiled back. Let's see, for my strong points, I am good with water jutsu, senbons, and I am quite well versed with my bloodline abilities. I also have some decent experience in medical field and information gathering. For tracking, my knowledge is limited, but I don't want to pursue more on that particular field. As for my weaknesses, I am not good with long stamina-consuming battles. Also, I am kind of weak in close-range battles. As for the strategic types of battles, I am not sure of it. For our team, I want to be the secondary fighter and medic also. She looked at her other teammates, both of them just grinned at her, seeing that she just sighed. I will be the team leader, Haku said unhappily. So you got outvoted? Yamato chuckled. Haku replied by nodding. Oh, and for getting stronger, I would like to focus on improving my water jutsu and getting better at close combat. As I am forced to be the leader, I also want to focus on team formation and strategies. Haku finished her part with a smile. Wow, honestly speaking, I am very surprised and pleased. You really analyzed your abilities as a single shinobi and team player. Well, the main reason I asked all of you to do this is that, like I said before, we are not going for any more missions till the Chunin exam is finished. This is no joke, people dies in the exam and I will be damned if I sent any of you there unprepared. So for the next 1.5 months I will be training every one of you. And hearing how you want to get stronger gave me some ideas as well. If I can, I will try to ask some of my colleagues to come and help you as well, but don't hold on to it. Because of the Chunin exam, the higher ranked shinobis got their hands full with works. But I will try my best. Yamato finished with a small smile. His eyes were glowing with pride seeing the maturity of his students. So which areas are you going to train us? Haku asked. Well, let's see. For now, to keep it simple, I will train each of you only in one particular area. Like for Naruto, I will focus on his bloodline. For Ranmaru, I will work on his basics and improve his tracking skills, and lastly for Haku, we will concentrate on your water jutsu. Other areas I can't do much as I am not expert on those parts. Yamato explained. So training starts from today? Naruto asked curiously. No. I actually thought the discussion would have taken more time, but guess I was wrong. We can do some light exercise and have a bit more brief planning of our training program, Yamato replied. Ah, alright, Naruto said. After a few hours later, all the members of Team 5 were resting. It was a light workout, but they planned out their training schedule. From early morning till afternoon, Yamato will train them all together on respective areas till the exam. Rest of the day was up to them. Naruto started working on his new storm release jutsu while Haku was concentrating more on water-based jutsu. Yamato gave Ranmaru more time than others as he needed it. He sparred with him and also went through the basics. He also checked what Ranmaru knew about tracking. This is it for today, guys. From tomorrow, come here at 7 sharp. We will train till lunchtime. Don't worry, we will have our breakfast break. He added the last part when he saw Naruto was going to interrupt him. With that, everyone bid farewell to Yamato. After Yamato left, Naruto spoke first. Yo everyone, want to go to Iruka-sensei's place? Maybe we can ask him if he knows someone who can help us with our training. Sure, Naruto and I. Ranmaru replied in a happy voice as he came to like Iruka as well. Iruka's place. So when is Iruka-sensei coming? Naruto asked. After coming to Iruka's place, they were greeted by a grumpy Anko, who without hearing anything, pulled them inside the house. Then they started having discussions, or more like listening to Anko's nagging about how Iruka was being a jerk who was not giving enough time to his girlfriend. The story went like this. Because it was almost end of the academy year, Iruka was busy grading his students, and also for the Chunin exam he had to partake on some works. So for the past few days Iruka was not coming back at home, where Anko was eagerly waiting for him after her stressful days. She also had her hands full because of the exam, and it was driving her mad. And for relieving her pressure she needed her man. God damn it. Never mind the insensitive bastard. So what are you all here for? Anko somberly asked. Seeing that they were stuck with an agitated Anko, They explained their situation of how they had to train, and how they needed help with some special areas and for which they were looking for Irika's help if he knew anyone who could help them. Anko was listening leisurely, but suddenly a thought hit her. Irika will probably have work tonight as well, but if I can get these kids to take his loads off him, then he will be free, and wait, maybe I can make these kids agree to do his works for a few days. Anko started laughing manically, scaring others. After a while her laughter died down. Alright kids, I can help you out with your little sensei problem, but you have to do something for me, Anko chirpily said. How can you help with our problem, Anko-san? Haku asked. Moreover, what do you want us to do? Naruto asked with concern as he knew Anko from before. Hold your pants, brats. Let me make it short. From what I learned, that Blondie needs a Kenjutsu expert, Chibi needs a Genjutsu expert, and Miss Leader wants to learn strategies. I know people who can help you with your problems, trust me, they are good. As for what I want is simple, just take the load off from Irika for a few days so he can concentrate on what he is supposed to do. Anko finished with a predatory grin. Everyone felt sorry for Irika, but hearing what Anko said they knew they had no choices. Haku looked at her teammates, both of whom just nodded unhappily. Alright, you got a deal. So where can we find Irika-sensei? Anko's grin just grew wider. With Irika had to sort out the academy works. Because of the exam, they thought of giving the students some days off. But suddenly Naruto and his teammates came and told him that they would take over his work for a few days. When he asked why, Haku replied that it was a D-rank mission specifically for them. At first he didn't have any idea what was exactly going on, but when he returned to his home and was immediately pounced by an excited Anko, everything just clicked. Not that he minded any of that, on the contrary, he would never get tired of his hot girlfriend, but sometimes Anko. Hey Irika-kun, I just bought some new lingerie but they are kinda tight, will you help me loosen them up, please? Anko asked innocently. Sure, I would love to. Irika gulped. One way or another he would have a long tiring night, but he knew he was going to enjoy this way more. If you can't beat it, enjoy it. With Team 5. Sorting out Irika's work didn't take that long because of the infamous shadow clone. After that they went to their training ground to improve their team chemistry. When they reached there it was almost evening. They decided they would train till dinner time. Ranmaru was practicing water walking, while Haku was fighting with few of Naruto's clone to improve her taijutsu. Meanwhile Naruto was meditating. To outsider it seemed like that, but actually he was having a conversation with one of his tenant. Inside Naruto's mindscape. What? Why? Naruto loudly asked. There is something I must confirm, Naruto, that is why I need to go back. I don't know how long I will be gone, but it may be few weeks. With all the trainings you will be going through, I think you need a bit breathing room for some time. Reiju replied with a small smile. Is it really necessary for you to go? Naruto asked dejectedly. How about this, Naruto? After I return I will see your growth, and if I find it satisfactory I will teach you a true storm jutsu. Will that be okay? Reiju asked with a grin, already knowing what his answer would be. Okay, but make sure you can make it before the exam. I don't want you to miss all the ass-kicking I will be doing. Naruto replied back. I will try, but no promises, and don't slack off because I am not here. Reiju chuckled. Naruto finally smiled. Outside world. Haku was taking a rest because fighting 3 of Naruto's dense shadow clone was no joke. And as more time was passing by, coordination between his clones were improving greatly. She knew her taijutsu sucked, and the battle she had with Hinata showed her that she really needed to improve that area. She looked at Ranmaru to see that he was still practicing water walking. She had no idea of what Anko had in store for them, but all she could hope it would be good. After a while Naruto was done with his meditation and took his leave, saying that he had to meet Hinata. Haku and Ranmaru just laughed lightly. But before going Naruto dispelled his previous clones and made new ones for Haku to train with them. A bit later Ranmaru got exhausted, so he was chatting with Naruto's clones, whereas Haku started training alone. She was practicing Hayatan, Ice clone, because her clone was slow and not as sturdy as Naruto's dense clone. She also had to use small genjutsu on them to look like her. She wanted to fix all of those problems before the exam. Suddenly a presence was felt, and without thinking she threw her senbons at that place and took her stance. The figure jumped to dodge the senbons and landed in a safe distance from her. She panicked, realizing that whoever it was saw her bloodline. How could I be so careless? She berated herself. The figure approached her, and seeing the face she paled more. With Naruto, while Naruto was sitting in Ichiraku's place waiting for his princess, he was rethinking his steps he had to take before entering the exam. His new original storm release attack was almost ready. Some advice from Yamato and Reija helped him to fix a few problems, and now he needed a month or two to complete it. Also, he was hoping if Anko could really find someone to teach him in Kenjutsu, he might got Kiba, but he knew after watching Zabuza's fight that he needed to improve his Kenjutsu by a lot. For the time being, he would concentrate on these two areas. He didn't want to think too much because he was still feeling down because of Reiju's depart. Someone entered the place, and to Naruto's delight it was Hinata. The day couldn't be that bad now that he would be able to enjoy his time with her. Naruto-kun, are you doing anything tonight? Hinata meekly asked. This day might be good after all. Nah, I am completely free, nothing to do at all. Naruto eagerly replied back. Then can you come to my house? My father wants to meet you. Hinata told Naruto nervously. Scratch that, the day was becoming worse by the minute. Suddenly Naruto's mind started showing just how much work he had to do, but alas. His big mouth already told Hinata that he was completely free. Now he got no choice but to go. Gulping, Naruto nodded his head. Chapter 17, Not Alone. Naruto was getting more and more nervous by the minute as he was closing in towards the Hyuga compound. He wasn't nervous because he was meeting the head of one of the strongest and noble clan in Konoha, but because he was meeting with his girlfriend's father who held the fate of their relationship. He would do everything in his power if her father turned out to be one of his haters. He didn't know the man that much, but from the small exchange they had when Hinata was fighting to prove her powers, he knew he was not the friendly type, that's for sure. Naruto was glad that he was able to come up with a quick plan to make sure he didn't mess this up in any way. Without knowing, he was holding and squeezing Hinata's hand, who understood her boyfriend's nervousness. As they closed in towards the compound, the guards in the gate were a bit surprised to see their shy heiress boldly holding hands with the village pariah went inside the compound as if this was her usual routine. But truthfully, Hinata was also nervous. Few hours back, out of nowhere, her father said that he wanted to meet Naruto, and she had a feeling in her gut that Hayashi knew about her and Naruto, but she didn't know how. Now, seeing Naruto being that much nervous, she was trying to remain calm, because if he saw Hinata was also nervous, that would definitely not going to help him. She led Naruto to her father's study room first to inform him of her boyfriend's arrival. Father, I have brought Naruto-san with me. She informed her father of their presence while being as formal as she could. Enter. Hearing the stoic voice, Hinata looked at Naruto and smiled to assure him that nothing would happen, at least that's what she hoped. She opened the door and led Naruto inside. They entered, and when Naruto and Hayashi's eyes met, Naruto bowed slightly. After that, he followed Hinata and sat in front of her father. Uzumaki-san, firstly I would like to thank you. Hinata and Naruto was surprised. Hayashi relaxed his posture and continued. After the training week my daughter had with you, she started to progress a lot, both in physical and mental wise. Although few elders and main house members still don't want to acknowledge it, but I would like to see how far Hinata's new gentle fist style will go. Will it stand toe-to-toe against our traditional style, or can it even surpass that? I would like to see that. Hinata was dumbfounded. Did her father just acknowledge her efforts indirectly, which she was yearning for years? She was doing her best not let the tears of happiness show, although every part of her body wanted to hug her father and to say thank you while crying. Unbeknownst to Hinata, she and Naruto was the hot topic among the Hyuga, both in main and branch houses, after their demonstration at the dojo months back. Naruto was like a dark horse. No one expected him to beat the Hyuga prodigy, and the most shocking part was that he beat Neji in less than a minute. Some said it was because Neji was weakened cause of the fight with Hinata, but the elders didn't say anything, because if they said that it was because of Hinata, then it would seem that Hinata was able to injure Neji with her own style after beating her sister. And if they would deny that theory, then it would seem the village outcast was able to beat their gentle fist genius like he was a third-rate shinobi. So although outraged, they remained silent. As for Hinata, even though main house members and few branch members seemed her as a weak and timid girl, most of the branch members liked her cause of her kindness. But after spending time with Naruto, she started to come out of her shell while maintaining her kind and gentle nature. Because of that, even villagers started to notice her kindness, and along with the little incident in the capital, and because Hanabi was not officially named as the Hyuga heiress, villagers gave her the nickname the Princess of Konoha. Because of that, she started to gain positive attentions from the main house as well. Hayashi even had code to follow Hinata to monitor her training, and the report surprised him. He even started to notice how hard Hinata was working even staying in the compound and felt slightly proud of her daughter when he saw how she was doing all the training undetected. He would occasionally made Hinata spar with other members. Although Hinata never used her own style again, but he was still able to notice the slight changes. She was more flexible, and she was able to hit and defend at the same time because of her flexibility. He really wanted to see her daughter's full potential, but he knew he couldn't just ask her after all he had done. Every time he saw Hinata now, pride and guilt would fill the man's heart in an instant. "So I would like to ask you to keep training with my daughter." Yes, he was proud of his daughter, and was thankful towards Naruto for bringing her out of her shell, but dating her was a different subject. That's why he stretched the word training to let Naruto know that he was only approving of their training time. He narrowed his eyes slightly and continued. "Is there anything you would like to say, Uzumaki-san?" "Yes, a lot, you stuck-up old man." That's the first thought that came to Naruto, but he shook it off and pushing his nervousness away he looked straight at the man. "Hayashi-sama, Hinata was a wonderful girl and shinobi from the start. Sometimes a small acknowledgement and few simple supportive words can do a lot than you think, and that's all I gave her. Which was supposed to be your job, and I am pretty sure after some time she can even kick you. I mean she can surpass you." Naruto bit down the sarcasm that was itching to come out. "I see," was all the reply he got. Naruto shook his head. Now or never. With that he abruptly stood up and to everyone's surprise he went down on his knees and banged his head in the floor. "Please let me court your daughter, Hayashi-sama." Hayashi's eyebrows shot up and his mouth opened slightly, which was equivalent of jaw-dropping for normal Hyuga. Hinata thought that any more surprises and her heart would give out. What none of them knew was that before coming undetected by Hinata, Naruto made quite a lot of shadow clones and told them to gather any information on how to handle the crisis. All the clones dashed and started the mission as if the Kyuubi was on their ass. After overcoming some major and minor obstacles they were able to gather some good heads up like show proper respect, don't speak unless spoken to, do not get overly familiar with the girl when her father is around, and last but not least do not lie. Hayashi quickly composed himself and looked at Naruto raptly, who still had his head on the ground. He already decided what he was going to do the moment he figured out that his girl was dating Naruto. "Raise your head, Uzumaki-san." Naruto raised his head to meet Hayashi's eyes directly. "Like I said before, after spending some time with you my daughter improved greatly. So that is why for now I will tolerate your relationship with her. But if you truly want my permission to court my daughter openly, then show me what you can do. You can do that in the Chunin exam. You are joining it, aren't you?" Naruto nodded while he properly sat down once again. "So we shall see what you are capable of doing, Naruto Uzumaki. You can leave now." Naruto and Hinata nodded and went for the door. "One more thing, I don't mind both of you spending time together, but keep in mind if I sense or hear of you doing anything inappropriate to my daughter, you won't even have the chance to join the exam. Do I make myself clear?" Hayashi said it gently, which frightened Naruto to no end, who nodded vigorously. Next day Yamato stopped training his students when he felt few presences approaching them. To his surprise, it was Anko and few of her friends. "Hello everyone, what brings you all here?" Yamato asked curiously. "Well, they are here for your brats. Heard that they needed some extra help, so brought some of my friends." Hearing Anko's answer, Yamato was genuinely surprised and pleased, but he knew Anko wouldn't have done it for free. He was too worried to ask what she made his students do. "Yo brats, just like I said, here are some of my friends that are going to help you train, but few things keep in that small genin head of yours. They will help you for 1 month and each of them have some conditions themselves. Now the stage is all yours, pals. I am outta here." With that, Anko left before anyone could say otherwise. "Let's get started, the sooner the better. My name is Marino Ibiki, currently the commanding officer of the Konoha Torture and Interrogation Force. I heard that the little ice princess over there needs some heads up on strategies. I will not waste any time, so follow me. I hope that is okay with you, Yamato-san," Ibiki said in a disinterested voice. "Sure, go ahead. But we will have a meeting at dinner time, be sure to be there," Yamato told Haku, who nodded in response. "Well, with the tough guy gone, let's continue. My name is Yugao Yuzuki and I am a Kenjutsu specialist. I will train you, Blondie, but I want to see the new toy that you got recently," Yugao said in a calm voice, but both Naruto and Yamato tensed up when they got the meaning of the toy she was speaking of. "How did you know about that, Yugao-san?" Yamato was a bit worried as the information was supposed to be confidential. You forgot I am one of the Hokage's personal bodyguards. I talked with him before coming here. Her answer eased up the student and teacher. Alright, Yugao-sensei, I will show you what I can do with my toys. Naruto grinned. Somehow that sounds inappropriate. Well, all of you guys know me already. I am Kurenai Yuhi and the Jonin sensei of Team 8. Yamato-san, I will train Ranmaru as I also want to learn a bit more about a bloodline that focuses on genjutsu, but I also want your cooperation with this. I want you to train Hinata in her water affinity. She is progressing quite well, and if you can train her alone, I am sure she will do great. Kurenai spoke her part. Well, honestly, I am quite surprised of what the kids did. And as for Hinata, it is fine by me. Last time I checked, that girl was getting really good at water jutsu. Also, don't hesitate to ask me if you want anything. Same goes for you too, Yugao-san. This will help my students' growth by a lot. I think we should cancel our training today. You guys should go with your respective new sensei to get to know each other. But remember, we are going to meet at Ichiraku's place at dinner time. Tell that to Haku for me. With that, Yamato bowed to the ladies and then left. Shall we get going? Yugao asked the remaining people of Team 5. Ibiki and Haku. Ibiki took Haku to the TNI headquarters directly and led her to his office. Before we begin, there are a few things we should clarify. First, I know about your unique ability. Seeing Haku tensing up, he raised his hand. I went to Hokage's office after Anko came and told me about your little sensei problem. She added that if I want to train you first, I have to talk with Hokage. Ibiki grunted. Anko outsmarted him by playing with his curious nature. When he confronted Sandaime, he agreed to tell Ibiki everything only if he got involved with the girl. Also, I want to ask you something. I heard about your resolve and your feelings about your father. Now what if, it's just a hypothetical question, your father Zabuza tells you to kill your friend or to commit some high-level crime here in Konoha? What will you do? Ibiki asked and looked at Haku with a calculated gaze. Haku thought for a second, then she smiled softly. Then I just have to beat my father and find out who is behind the scheme. Because with all the years I spent with him, I know he has a bad reputation. He may be heartless, a bit bloodthirsty, a sword maniac, but he is definitely not a backstabber unless he gets betrayed first. So I am sure after all the things Konoha did for him, he is not going to say maniacal things like that. If he did, then it must be because of a third party. Ibiki was surprised. He thought she was going to say something along those lines, but not so clearly and definitely not so fast. He assumed that the girl would panic, and then she would try out with some far-fetched ideas not to blame Zabuza. Alright, you pass. We can work out on your strategy and team formation skills. But one last thing, is it possible for you to tell me some information about your time when you were traveling? You can skip the part where you don't want to tell. Just don't fabricate. Ibiki asked away his last question. In the ninja world, any little information would be a great asset. She spent a lot of time in Water Country where their spies were having lots of troubles. Haku thought for a bit, then she nodded. Great, let's get started right away then. Yugao and Naruto. So where is this place? Naruto asked as he was being led by Yugao to a whole new training ground. The odd part was he felt like there was something wrong at the entrance of the place but couldn't put his hand on it. Welcome to the training ground belonging to only Anbu. Yugao grinned. She led Naruto to this place right after they separated from the other duo. She wanted to test her skills against the Mist Sword. Because this was one-in-a-lifetime chance, as Naruto was the only person who was able to get his hands on a legendary Mist Sword who was from a different village. While this place is where Anbu trains. Cool. Naruto started to look around. Don't beat yourself, kid. You won't find this place unless an authorized Anbu brings you here. Yugu chuckled. What? Why? Is there something special you have to do? Naruto started to beam up. Pipe down, and about the special thing, can't tell you, kid. Maybe if you join Anbu anytime soon. Yugao ruffled Naruto's hair. Let's get started. The area is secured so you can go all out. And I want you to go all out. Bring out your blades and give me all you got. I want to see where you stand. Yugao took a relaxed stance, but her senses became sharp. Naruto grinned and took out a scroll to unseal the swords. Yamato gave him a special scroll with a retreat and tracker seal attached to it to seal the kiba inside. He wielded the twin swords and took his stance. Kurenai and Ranmaru. Kurenai couldn't help but chuckle inwardly when she saw Ranmaru's behavior. He was just like Hinata, shy and lacking self-confidence but had full of potential. Hinata was just like that before, but recently her growth made Kurenai to think that she might be the strongest in her team. Although much of her growth was thanks to her boyfriend, no deny there. So, Ranma-kun, before we start training, I want you to tell me a bit about yourself, your life before and after we meet. Don't worry, just a little talk to get yourself to calm down and get comfortable with me. You seem really nervous. Kurenai laughed softly when she saw Ranma blushed after hearing that. Ranma took a deep breath. He couldn't protect his loved ones before, but now he was given a second chance, and he wouldn't waste it. He would become strong for his new friends and family, and would take anything thrown at him just like his Naruto and Ai and Hakune. Well, I was raised in this village called. 1 week later for Team 5 it was quite an exciting week. Not every day you'd get to be trained by few jonins. Naruto, Haku and Ranma would meet with Yamato early in the morning and would train all the way till lunch, of course with breaks. Later each genin would go and meet their other sensei, and after training for few hours they would meet back at their own house. After getting some well-deserved rest, they would discuss with each other about what they had learned in order to improve. Sometimes they would go out and train till dinner if they had time. It was just 1 week, but still they could feel their own growth, and even Yamato was pleased with their progress. He knew that if his students keep progressing like this, they would be more than ready for the Chunin exam. But that didn't mean he would soften up. He could see the other Jonin sensei were starting to prepare their teams. He was quite surprised when he saw all the rookies' team sensei were doing the same. To him they were not quite ready yet, but only time would tell. Tonight was a bit different as Haku wanted to train alone, but it was just a facade. She was looking up at the sky but looked back when she felt the presence. "Hello there, Sasuke-san," Haku said while turning to face him. Flashback. "How could I be so careless?" She berated herself. The figure approached her, and seeing the face she paled more. It was Sasuke. Ranma shouted from afar to Haku if anything was wrong, as he didn't see the little skirmish that just happened. Haku looked at the last Uchiha who just motioned her to follow him, seeing that she told Ranma that she was fine and she would go get something for refreshment, after which she followed Sasuke, who took her a bit far from their practice ground. "Look, Sasuke-san, about earlier." Haku was interrupted when Sasuke looked at her with serious face and spoke. "Fight me." Whatever Haku had in mind, that was definitely not it. She relaxed inwardly but didn't let her guard down. For now she would follow Sasuke's lead to see where his thoughts were heading, so she asked, "Why?" "I have an ambition, and for that I need to be ahead of everyone. I don't care what happened back at the wave, but I am guessing our sensei and Hokage knows about it. If so, I got no problem with you being here and hiding your bloodline. But what I do have a problem with is the result of our last fight, and I want a rematch." Sasuke ended his speech with a stance. Haku knew there was no way out of this, and if she rejected the match he would just keep on pestering her, and without knowing might bring some troubles. She thought for a while, and was trying to come up with the best solution, and then it hit her. "Sasuke-san, I don't want to fight meaningless battles, and I told this to you even when I was an enemy. But looking at you I know that you will not back down, so I suggest we held the match back for 1 week. You choose the time and place, but I suggest somewhere out of prying eyes. Also, I would like to ask you not to talk about my real abilities to anyone." Haku kept her tone calm and quiet. "I got no problem with that. Then 1 week later we will meet again, and in between I will tell you the time and place." With that, Sasuke took one more good look at her, and then left. Flashback ends. Now here they were getting ready to fight. Haku looked at the sky where clouds were covering the glowing full moon. "The first moonlight," Haku suggested, and when Sasuke got what she meant he nodded. Both took their stances. Haku looked at the last Uchiha carefully. She did her research and learned about the Uchiha massacre and also the culprit behind it. She came to understand him a bit more after her findings, but this was a battlefield, no sympathy against an opponent who was going to go all out against you. Zabuza taught her that no matter who her opponent was, never go in for instant win or let your guard down. Observe to find openings to strike fast and hard. Even Ibiki told her something similar. In his way, information was always a major asset. If one had enough information which he or she could use against the opponent, it would be like a tide turner depending on how one would use that information, which was similar to a mind game. She saw Sasuke already activated his Sharingan, which had 2 tomo, meaning it was not complete. She also read about the bloodline, and honestly to her it was a frightening bloodline, but luckily her bloodline could counter his. She knew that he was thinking that she would go head on head to get the upper hand like before, and if his stance and posture was saying anything, it was that he already had some counterplan against her. Sasuke watched his opponent. Frankly, he would admit she was strong. Her taijutsu was based on speed and quick hit, and last time she was able to go against 2 head on head. He improved his taijutsu but knew his intercepting fist alone wouldn't be able to give him any edge over her, as she got him beat on speed and experience, but with his Sharingan activated he hoped that he would be able to close the gap. The problem was her ninjutsu and bloodline. He had to avoid going to ninjutsu battle. He knew that he would have to go into taijutsu first because if he could, then he would have advantage from the start. And he also had few tricks just for her, but he had to make sure they start off with taijutsu first. The clouds made enough way for the contestants to see the glimmer of the moonlight. Sasuke charged right away to get the first hit, but Haku intercepted him on the midway, surprising Sasuke. He moved to the right just in time to dodge the incoming fist, but thanks to his Sharingan he was able to see the sudden direction change in Haku's punch. She did a hard stop and tried to elbow Sasuke, who ducked and rolled away to get distance, but Haku was not going to let that happen. She charged at Sasuke and took a swing at him, followed by a round kick. Sasuke had to dodge again. He knew he was at fault because he dodged her first punch, which he should have intercepted. Haku now was going on with strong attacks which would hurt even if he tried to block, and she was using her superior speed to take advantage over his Sharingan. Seeing no other way around, Sasuke charged when she tried to elbow him again. He blocked the elbow and gave a strong punch, but it was blocked by her knee. He could feel his bones almost breaking. Damn this girl! Haku was surprised when she felt like she got hit in her stomach, although it was not possible. She jumped back to see what hit her, but Sasuke was now on her tail. She went on defensive mode, but she was still taking hits. But the weird part was that those hits were coming in an impossible time, and in a weird angle. Suddenly it all clicked. She deliberately took Sasuke's punch to her stomach, and when she saw Sasuke's expression changed ever so slightly. "Kai!" she shouted, and hearing that Sasuke jumped back. "Damn!" Sasuke gritted his teeth. "Illusion with taijutsu, nice one there Sasuke-san, but I am guessing you were trying to go for something big, right?" Haku smirked. She knew he would have wanted to go with taijutsu first cause in ninjutsu she had the upper hand. But from the previous fight both of them knew head-on-head would not be a wise choice. So in order to bring out Sasuke's counter-attack early, she engaged with him ferociously, giving him no opening. But honestly she didn't know it would be genjutsu to throw her off balance. Guess he figured out that was the only way to break her defense, and if it wasn't for Ranra she wouldn't have caught it. "But I didn't want to use it this early. I just came up with it recently to counter opponent with stronger taijutsu skill and speed. The technique requires for the opponent to keep looking at my eyes from time to time while engaging with me in taijutsu battle, so I can put powerful genjutsu to throw them out of their rhythm. Because the genjutsu will show them a faster version of me, so they will block earlier, giving me an opening. But it takes quite decent amount of chakra and concentration. I still can't keep on using them for long, so I wanted to use it to give some heavy blow, but that damn girl ruined it. Had to use early." Sasuke sighed, but for some reason he was kind of feeling excited. It was long since someone pushed him to go this far. "Well, even if I wasn't able to do something big, I did do my secondary objective." Sasuke smirked as he took battle stance once more. Haku knew what Sasuke was talking about. At first, when they started, the field was greener, and there were a small pond on the side, but now they were on a bit rocky area. In the midst of the fight, Sasuke kept pushing her to a particular direction, and because of that he was able to change the location of the fight to his liking. She knew when he was leading her to a different area while fighting, but the genjutsu caught her off guard and she had to focus on that. "This will be tricky." Haku sighed. Fire release, Phoenix Sage fire technique. Small fireballs were coming at Haku in an unpredictable manner. Haku took out senbons, but when she saw what was actually coming at her, she started going through hand seals fast. Hayaton, certain kill ice spears. But instead of ice spears coming out randomly, the spears form a wall surrounding Haku. The fireballs hit the frozen walls, and when it died out the hidden shurikens came into the view. "How?" Sasuke asked in an agitated voice. "The sound, even if you hid the shuriken, the sound of them spinning at this hour is not hard to detect." "Come on, is that all you got?" Haku smiled, which angered Sasuke. Sasuke threw several smoke bombs surrounding Haku. When he saw the smokes covered the area, he jumped high. Fire release, great flame flower. He pointed all the powered-up fireballs at one direction, center of the ice wall. When all the fireballs hit at the same time, the explosion was huge and it shattered the ice wall. Without taking any risks, he threw shuriken with ninja wire attached, and felt something getting caught in it. When the smoke cleared up, a battered-up Haku was caught in the wire trap. He didn't want to let this chance go, so he charged at her to end it. Hayaton, showering snow. The frozen snow poured all over Sasuke when he was close, although it felt like low-powered, but before Sasuke could move, lots of needles flew from front and hit most of his nerves, making him fully paralyzed momentarily. Sasuke looked behind to see Haku was holding a kunai at the back of his neck. Your loss. Sasuke gritted his teeth when he heard Haku saying that. How? I had you. Sasuke asked angrily. Did you really think I would remain in the middle of the ice wall after you threw the smoke bombs? I put a trap and moved away the moment smoke started to fill up the area. Haku explained, but she didn't say which jutsu she used. Her combination of Hayaton, Ice Clone and Hayaton, showering snow. No point in explaining all of the jutsu she used. The less he knew, the better. Fuck! Sasuke smashed his fist into the ground. It hurt like hell cause of the needles, but the pain of loss was worse. Sasuke-san, I know what happened to your clan, but your anger is holding you back. Because of it. Haku couldn't finish as Sasuke got up and stared at her directly. You know nothing! Not about what happened and not about my anger and hatred. It is the anger that took me where I am, made me this strong. I have to avenge all the people that died that day. My clan, my family! Sasuke shouted. Sasuke-san, I didn't see my own clan's massacre, something that I am glad about. But I want to ask you, all this anger and revenge, is this for your own vengeance or for your clan's justice? Haku asked softly. Sasuke was stunned. He didn't know how to answer that, but after coming all this way he would not diverge from his way of life. He couldn't. Don't talk like you know how it feels. To see the person you admire and love one day become someone else and kills your family. Destroys the home where you belong. Hearing that, Sasuke was shocked. I won't go into detail, Sasuke-san, but my father killed my mother when he found out she had a bloodline. Was going to kill me as well, but my bloodline got activated and saved me. Haku spoke in a whispered tone, but Sasuke heard it all. So you killed your father, right? You got your revenge. So why are saying all this? Sasuke asked in dreaded voice. Because it didn't bring back those days where we were a family, didn't answer any questions that I had. All that left after that was a broken girl who didn't know why to live anymore. I know how it feels like, Sasuke-san, so that is why I am asking, don't go down that road willingly. Haku pleaded. Sasuke didn't know what to do or what to say anymore. All this time he thought no one knew his pain or went through what he had gone through. But he was wrong. Also, Sasuke-san, about today's fight, I enjoyed it before you started to fall for my taunts. I used ice jutsus where there is no water. It took a lot out in me, but instead of analyzing the situation, you fell for my taunting. If you would have tried to drag the battle, I would have lost. Haku said while she smiled a bit. Don't try to shoulder it alone. My foster father and my team made me this strong, and I know I will grow stronger with them. If you are this strong alone, I wonder how strong you can be if you start to rely on people. Maybe next time, I get to fight you when you are stronger and more cool-headed. Haku winked at Sasuke and left. A bit far away. Didn't see that coming? Kakashi spoke in a surprised tone. What did I tell ya, senpai? My team is way stronger than any rookie team. Yamato smirked and left. What Haku and Sasuke didn't know was that the little interactions didn't go unnoticed by their Jonin-sensei. But instead of stopping them, they decided to see how it played out. So, what are you going to do now, Sasuke? Kakashi smiled a bit at his student. Oameki the first kiss after their conversation. They had dinner, which was quite uneventful. Naruto did feel that Hinata's sister was watching his every move intently, but their father was worse. When dinner was over, Naruto politely asked them if he could leave early as he had training in the morning. Hinata showed him out of the compound. She was feeling bad when she saw how Naruto looked so gloomy. She mustered her courage and grabbed his hand. Naruto-kun, what's wrong? She asked worriedly. Hinata-chan, what if I messed up in the exam? Then what will happen? Should I take out your father before that? Nah, too strong. Should I ask the Hokage to do something about it? Nah, the old man is an ass. What should I do? Naruto started shooting all the questions in a panic. Hinata tried to hold back her giggle. She knew if anyone would do well in the Chunin exam, it would be Naruto. But what made her truly happy was that he was thinking of doing all these for her. She smiled brightly and went for a peck on his cheek, but luckily Naruto turned around just in time. They were stunned for a moment. Their lips touched each other's lightly. Naruto held Hinata's shoulder and pushed her back a bit. Hinata was shocked and then got scared when Naruto pushed her back gently. But before she could say or do anything, Naruto fainted. Chapter 18. Start of the exam. This past month had a huge impact on Team 5's growth. It was not everyday occurrence where one was able to be taught by few sensei. Team 5 trained with Yamato in the morning till noon. Their main focus was on teamwork and coming up with combo attacks. But Yamato would try to focus on Ranmaru a bit more as he had to cover lots of basic grounds to catch up with rest of his teammates. Ranmaru was able to finish water walking exercise and advanced tree walking exercise. He was not a hand-to-hand combat type of person, but still Yamato trained him to the ground to cover his weakness. He was not willing to take any risk because no matter what, he knew that a time would come when Ranmaru would be forced to go in the front line, so he was making sure that the kid at least could be good with one taijutsu style before the exam. Ranmaru didn't complain, rather he was happy that Yamato was focusing on his weak points cause from his point of view he had too many of them. That was for his morning session, and as for his other sensei, she was able to make him like genjutsu. Well, to her, Ranmaru was natural to the point where he was able to cast a low-ranking genjutsu with only one hand seal. Although it was a low-ranking one, Kurenai could see the potential in Ranmaru, so just after 2 weeks she started to go through high-level ones and Ranmaru just absorbed them. The only drawback was his chakra capacity, which was slightly average. But that could be fixed with time and chakra control. As for our blonde hero, in the morning he would do the teamwork with everyone, then would move on to do combo attacks. The idea just hit him when he was talking with Yamato, and he brought up Ino Shikacho combo. From then, he also wanted for his team to make a combo similar to them, but not everything was as easy as it seemed to be. After going through several tries, they found out both Haku and Naruto could use Ranmaru's bloodline but only as a decoy. One more thing they learned, which was storm release and ice release, didn't work together. Although they kept trying, but it was quite a hard case. They were managed to combine Haku's showering snow and Naruto's laser circus, but instead of powering up one another they lowered their efficiency. At least the training with his afternoon sensei was going smoothly. After going all out few times against Yugao, she was quite pleased with his kenjutsu but said that he still needed a lot of experience. From then, instead of teaching Naruto, she started practicing with him in kenjutsu. She even bought her fiancé Hate to have him practice on kenjutsu. All the month Naruto focused on training with only his swords on Yugao's watch. His chosen sword style, Twin Moon style, was a bit unique, so Yugao said she couldn't help him on advancing the sword style. But she showed him some of her own moves as well, other sword moves available. It did give him some ideas to create some original moves. All in all, he really enjoyed his time with Yugao. Well, same couldn't be said for Haku. Training with Ibiki was quite stressful. It was just as tiresome, if not more, than Zabuza's training, but she had to admit it was worthwhile. Ibiki teamed her up with some other new chunins, and made them go through some team formations and strategies. He also made her observe few interrogations so that she knew how to interrogate enemies when the time comes. She didn't like it, but she took notes. Haku's observation skill was quite good, but with the help of Ibiki it was sharpened. But she liked training with her own team more. What she learned from Ibiki, she applied them on her morning exercise, and honestly it felt good to lead a team of your own. After that, at Naruto's request, they started working on combination attack, but so far it was not progressing that much. They also trained at night sometimes if they had spare energy left, for Haku and Ranmaru that is. Hinata started joining almost all the night training after the second week, encouraged by Kurenai. When she heard that Yamato was going to train her on water element, she was ecstatic, but of course she was told that in absence of Kiba and Shino. Kurenai started training her team as well for the exams, so they stopped doing too many missions. She would train with her team in the morning, and at afternoon her team would have their own training time. Kiba objected the idea first, but after Shino explaining how improving oneself would affect the team, Kiba backed down. Kiba and Shino would train with their clan, whereas Hinata would go with Yamato, who not only taught her on water jutsus but also worked on her completing her new taijutsu. When he said he was going to work with her new taijutsu, she was quite surprised, and when asked why he was going to do that, all Yamato answered, "Thank that boyfriend of yours." After the second week, Yamato also advised her to join in Team 5's night session. The nighttime training was few times a week. All they did was helping one another. For example, in Haku's case they worked on perfecting her ice clone and her new jutsu. Ranmaru was working on a project given to him by Kurenai. It was new type of genjutsu. Hinata's part was quite simple, to improve her new taijutsu, and it was done by every one of Team 5 going against her only in taijutsu. It was quite hard for Hinata as Haku, Ranmaru and Naruto had different styles and ways of fighting, but it was doing wonders in improving it. She almost completed the style, only a few parts left to improve. Hinata was now hoping that she could finish it before the Chunin exam. With Kakashi. Kakashi was watching his students training intently. He, like other rookie sensei, started to train for the exam, and he knew the main reason why all the rookie teams were going to participate was the exam, because it was going to be held on their own village, and this was quite a rare opportunity which would give a huge advantage. But he sighed when he looked at his team. They were getting quite good as a team, somewhat, but as a single member each had problems. But luckily one was taking steps to overcome them. Kakashi was quite surprised when Sasuke came to his house really early in the morning, after the day of his match with Haku, and asked for help. He knew the hatred for his brother was still there, but for now Sasuke decided to put that aside and concentrate on surpassing Haku. Sasuke had conflicted feeling about it, but for now he would train to face Haku and beat her. He wanted to know more about how she was able to go on with her life. Sasuke knew one thing: his thoughts up until now was solely on killing his brother, but he never thought about the life after. And Haku had gone through the life after the vengeance, so he wanted to know more, and he knew that he just couldn't go and ask her about that. So he put aside his thoughts of hatred because he wasn't stupid. He knew if he met his brother now he wouldn't be able to do anything as he was nowhere near his level. So for now he would go for the closest person that he had to surpass. Teaching an enthusiastic Sasuke was fun, unlike Sakura. The girl had potential, but unlike Sasuke she didn't have the right motivation. After the mission at Wave, she became serious but not as much as he wanted. The girl was still fawning over her teammates, especially Sasuke, who still had no interest in her. Kakashi taught her some advanced chakra control and then later gave her some genjutsu scroll. He was surprised when she told him that she learned those in a week. He thought about asking for Kurenai's help after the exam because now everyone was quite busy with their own team. But one thing he was glad about was that during fights or mission, unlike past, she actually focuses on the mission itself, and the last and probably the most problematic person was Sai. After their mission at Wave, Kakashi kept his eyes on Sai and was now confirmed that he was a root member. He even reported it to Sandaime, but the old man said there was nothing he could do as Sai came into his team legally, and didn't make any problems. For now. That's what Kakashi thought when he heard that. Sai, when in a team, would follow Sasuke. In the past they had a problem in there, but after a nice chat with Kakashi after their mission at Wave, they stopped arguing pointlessly. Sasuke would lead the team but would hear out his teammates if they had any opinions. Sai would actually give some good advice from time to time, but the most messed up part was that in training or in solo, he would always hold back. It became painfully obvious as the time passed. Even when Kakashi would let Sasuke and Sai spar against each other, Sai held back. Sasuke got pissed after he noticed that, but later he stopped giving his best as well. Kakashi really wanted to have the competitive atmosphere in his team, but it was not going to happen with passive Sai and unmotivated Sakura. He wished he could have Naruto, but that damn incident changed everything. Looking at the sky, he just sighed and hoped for one thing. Maybe the Chunin exam will help them. Somewhere else. Danzo looked at the reports. He was irritated not because Sai had his movements restricted. He expected that to happen considering who his sensei was, but the fact that what he found out recently. Some of his elite root members would go around to look into Umbu's activities. And they discovered some quite interesting information. The Jinchuriki had one of the Mist Swords, and he was training with one of the top and trusted Umbu of the third. When he found out about it first, he immediately called few of his good root members and told them to keep an eye on the Jinchuriki's team. But here he got hit by a wall. When they trained in the morning, they were with Yamato, who would make few wood clones and would make a parameter around them. It was really hard to get inside without being noticed by an ex-root member. After their morning session, they would learn individually with different elite shinobis. That's also piqued Danzo's interest as to why they were getting special treatment. He wanted to know more but also hit a dead end in this one. There was no report or no documents about their training regime, as if it was done by verbal agreement. Their session with different shinobis didn't give him the information that he wanted. But what surprised him most was their nighttime training. From time to time they would train at night, and the Hyuga heiress would join them as well. He didn't want to lose this chance, so he sent his best men to spy on them, but what they wrote on the report pissed him off. Their training ground was being monitored by Kakashi, Yamato, and Yugao, and they were not slacking off at all. Even when the Jinchuriki's team would stay at home, it was guarded by elite trusted Umbus of the third. It was as if they were protecting the Hokage himself. No way in. Another dead end. Now Danzo was not stupid. He learned one thing from all of these failures, that Sandaime was not protecting Naruto alone. For some reason he was protecting the whole team, meaning the other members had something that should be kept in the dark. For how long that he didn't know, but what he knew was that he didn't like it. He stood up and started walking with the help of his crane. Even though he wanted to learn what Hiruzen was hiding, he knew Hiruzen changed. Doing things behind his back became riskier, he had to tread carefully. Before leaving his room he looked back at his desk and one particular information came into his mind. He smiled remembering that. The Chunin exam. The day before the exam Naruto was pissed. In front of him, Konohamaru and his friends were trying to avert his stern gaze. "Come on, Naruto-kun. Don't be so mad," Hinata requested softly. Naruto sighed. The exam was on the next day, so all the team had their day off. He told Hinata a few days before to spend the day with his team. It was just a facade for a date. While it was true that Haku and Ranma was there, but they kept their distance and minded their own business, he had to do it, otherwise Hayashi would have his head. Somehow he saw their first kiss, but because he fainted, he was spared. So with the cover-up he was having great time with his girlfriend, and the best part was because of the exam everyone was quite busy to notice them. Wearing a hooded jacket helped too. But this happiness was short-lived when he saw the square box. He wanted to avoid it, but the box dashed towards them and exploded. After the smoke was clear, Konohamaru wanted to give a speech, but seeing Naruto's pissed-off face, he became quiet and started fidgeting. "Konohamaru, I am not in the mood to play with you or to accept your challenges. I was having some good time with my girlfriend," Naruto said in an irritated voice, but hearing what he said Konohamaru looked at him with sparkling eyes. "Aniki, you are telling me you bagged the princess of Konoha?" he asked in admiration. Listening to his tone, Naruto softened up. He grinned and gave Hinata a one-armed hug while giving the victory sign with other. "You got to tell us how you did it?" Konohamaru started jumping up and down and his other friends started to get excited as well. Hinata found this cute, but she really didn't like to be in the spotlight, but seeing where this was going, if she didn't do anything soon she would be in trouble. "So, Naruto-kun, who are they? Friends of yours?" Hinata asked sweetly, hoping to change the direction of the conversation. Sorry Hinata-chan. This is Konohamaru, Hokage's grandson, and for the other two," Naruto trailed off, "Moegi and Udan." Konohamaru introduced his friends. He was feeling a bit embarrassed seeing how he became too excited to introduce his friends. "Nice to meet you all. So I am guessing Moegi and Udan just met Naruto-kun for the first time, but what about you, Konohamaru-kun? How did you two meet?" Hinata asked, hoping that they would forget their main question. Naruto told Hinata how he met Konohamaru when his team was being debriefed for a mission, and the events transpired after that. They quickly become friends, and Konohamaru's respect increased when Naruto defeated his Jonin sensei, Ebisu. After that they would have some small challenges or played ninja with one another. The more Konohamaru spent time with Naruto, the more his respect towards him increased, and to show that, first he used to call him boss, but after some time he started to call him Aniki. "Playing ninja? Sounds quite interesting." Hinata giggled a bit. "What kind of ninja plays as ninja?" Sakura asked in cheeky manner. Everyone looked to see the newcomer. They didn't notice her approach as everyone was too engrossed at Naruto's storytelling. "Nobody asked you, Sakura," Naruto grumbled. He wanted to shoo away Konohamaru and his gang after this, but it seemed luck wasn't on his side. What Naruto didn't know was that Sakura actually wanted to talk with him. She wouldn't admit, but she really was missing his overly doting on her, and wanted to know if anything happened or not, but hearing the way he started to speak to her made her angry and jealous. "Yeah? Go away, muscle girl, we are busy," Konohamaru said without knowing what the outcome would be. "Konohamaru, the game starts now and the first mission is to survive from the muscle girl," Naruto quickly said, but he lowered his voice at the end. Getting his meaning, Konohamaru sprinted away from Sakura, who was hot on his tail. Naruto started laughing seeing that where Moegi and Udan also gave chase after Sakura. "Come on, Naruto-kun, let's go catch Sakura before she catches Konohamaru," Hinata said while shaking her head. "Heh. Why? We just got rid. I mean, they are going to have fun now. It's a game, don't worry. We should continue where we left," Naruto replied back cheekily, making Hinata blush. "Come on, we can have our date after this." Hinata took an unmotivated Naruto's hand and started running after everyone else. When they reached them, they saw a nervous Sakura was trying to tell a guy with a cat suit to drop Konohamaru. There was a girl behind the guy. "What bastard! What do you think you are doing?" Naruto shouted in an irritated voice, but before he could go any further Hinata stopped him and smiled at him gently, seeing that he just sighed. Can't you see? We are teaching the kids some manners, the guy said without a care. You guys are from Suna, right? You are here for the Chunin exam? Then I don't think you should make any troubles. Hinata replied back politely. The cat guy took a good look at her and then grinned. Name's Kankuro. I don't think anyone is going to make any fuss about a brat, but if you go out with me maybe I will do what you say. Pleasure to meet you, Kankuro-san. My name is Hinata Hyuga. And I think our Hokage might make a fuss about his grandson being treated like this, and as for your offer I have to decline. Hinata spoke gently as she knew after what she said they had to back off. Kankuro dropped Konohamaru as if he was tagged with explosives, but before he could come up with a remark the girl behind him punched him in the head. Told you not to make a scene. The girl growled. Yeah, 'cause I don't think the guy up there looks happy about it. Naruto said in a tired tone. It was just one after another. Both Sunanin paled when they saw who Naruto was talking about. Hey Gaara. I thought you were at hotel. Kankuro was sweating bullets. You are a disgrace. Head back before you make a fool out of yourself. The guy named Gaara spoke in a cold tone, but before turning back he looked at Naruto, who just looked at him without a care. You should not let your guard down. You don't know when a monster might come and attack. Gaara said while looking at Naruto directly, hearing that both of his teammates tensed. Thanks for the advice. With that Naruto turned around, but he stopped and looked back. You should control that bloodlust of yours, it makes the nature feel unrest. He smirked and left with Hinata and others. Gaara kept looking till Naruto disappeared. There are lots of worthy sacrifices for Mother in the exam. The exam day. Wow, I can't believe they put Genjutsu in front of the room. Naruto said while he and his teammates waved goodbye to their sensei. Naruto, the exam started the moment we stepped inside this building, but if I am to guess I would say that was to take out the weak ones. Haku said as they entered room 301. But it was nice of Yamato-sensei to come and see us before the exam. Ranmura said he was a bit nervous when he saw the people inside the room. All of them looked experienced and deadly. He calmed down when Haku gently touched his shoulder and gave it a reassuring squeeze. They passed the fake room without making any scene, while Naruto wanted to, but Haku voiced against it. Haku started to look around to see the competition. All the rookie teams except for Sasuke's were here. From the major village, there were 2 from Kiri, 1 from Suna and 3 from Kumo, and none from IWA. There was 1 from a new village, but from the headband she was guessing something related to sound. She took another good look at the teams. The one from Suna would cause problems. Only 1 team from Kumo looked dangerous, but what was disturbing her was the teams from Kiri. Are they here for the Miss Sword? 2 teams are too much considering their condition. Let's hope I am wrong here. Haku thought. Suddenly the door opened and Sasuke entered, a bit battered, but he had a smirk in his face. Following him was his team and another team. Hinata's cousin was in there, but one of the team member was also a bit beaten, but he had his head down. You had a fight? Guessing you won, Haku told Sasuke when he approached her. It was a draw. Sasuke smirked at her. Haku just smiled. She noticed all the rookie teams started to gather around them. Ino wanted to jump at Sasuke, but Sakura caught her, and they started to bicker at each other. Guess all the rookie teams are going for the exam, Chuji said while eating. Heh! But our team is going to come out as the best, Naruto said while puffing his chest out. You guys should quiet down, you don't want to bring unwanted attention. Everyone looked at the newcomer. He had onyx eyes and ash-gray hair which was kept in ponytails that extended to his upper back. He had a pair of circular glasses and wore a dark purple shirt with a high collar with a white undershirt and dark purple pants. Name's Yakushi Kabuto. The guy introduced himself. Have you already tried the exam? Sakura asked. Well, this is my 7th try, Kabuto explained sheepishly. You must be damn weak. Kiba chuckled. The exams aren't as it seems, maybe I could lend you a hand. Kabuto took out a deck of cards. These are chakra cards and they react to my chakra signature to reveal information. Any particular team you want to know about? Kabuto finished. Haku went on alert mode. Something about the guy didn't seem quite right. I want to know about Haku from Team 5, Sasuke said directly. Why? Sakura and Ino immediately asked together. Because he is a pervert, Haku answered in a flat voice. Everyone was taken aback and looked at Sasuke. What? No! It's to beat you, Sasuke asked seriously, but his tone and the pink dust in his cheeks gave him away. Wow, you sure are kinky, Sasuke-kun, Haku replied back in a sexy tone. Sasuke felt like he had been slapped in the face. He gritted his teeth while his blushing increased. Never mind. Sasuke huffed and looked away. Everyone laughed except Ino and Sakura. While making an ass out of Sasuke aside, can you tell me about Gaara, the redhead from Suna? Naruto asked Kabuto. Sure, let's see, his full name is Sabaka no Gaara, son of Kazekage. His team consists of 2 members, his elder siblings. He completed 10D rank, 15C rank and 1B rank, and all mission was done without a scratch. This year is going to be tough. Kabuto answered. What about Naruto? Kiba asked. Naruto Uzumaki, member of Team 5. He has a storm-release bloodline, wow. Out of the corner of her eyes, Haku saw a few of the Kumo nines shifted uncomfortably. He has done 25D rank, 5C rank, 1B rank and 2A rank. Wow kid, you sure worked hard these last few months. Kabuto laughed where every other rookie member's jaw dropped except for Hinata and Naruto's teammates. But before anyone could say anything, Ibiki came. Silence, brats. I am Marino Ibiki, your first exam proctor. Now everyone show your ID and we will begin the first part of the exam. Ibiki told in a calm voice, but it was full of power and authority. Bring it on! Naruto shouted. Somewhere far, are you sure about that, my friend? Raijin asked in a surprised voice. Yes, Lord Raijin. It seems that the kid started developing the powers sooner than we thought. Reiju replied. Guess I have to give his test earlier than I expected. It should be amusing. Now let's see what the kid can do. Raijin chuckled. It seemed as if he just found something quite interesting. Hope you are ready for this, Naruto. Reiju thought worriedly. Chapter 19, Forest of Death Eye. When I said I am ready for everything, I should have said everything except a freaking written test. Naruto grumbled out. Come on, Naruto. Stop sulking. We passed, didn't we? Haku groaned, but Naruto kept grumbling about how it was unfair to have a written exam. Their first part of the exam was a written one, much to almost everyone's surprise and some people's annoyance. Naruto panicked, but sitting beside Hinata calmed him down, but it surely didn't make him any smarter. Although Hinata tried to help him, he rejected the idea when he saw if anyone helped they would get disqualified as well. For Haku it was easy, as gathering information was one of her strong forte. She didn't even needed to use any jutsus at all. Following the hand movement of the people beside her was more than enough. She even passed the information to Ranmaru, who sat behind her, but unfortunately Naruto was too far. She was a bit concerned about Naruto, but his stunt at the 10th question solved all the problems. But he was still sulking, saying that it was not fair. If Haku was to guess, it was because Hinata might have seen Naruto's empty exam sheet. Now they were on their way to the next part of the exam. She was worried about the second part of the exam, seeing that the reckless ankle was in charge of that. When they reached their destination, she started to look around for the troublesome teams. The one from Suna was definitely on the top of the list. Only one team from Kumo looked like it might give some troubles, and from their own village, Team 7 and Team 9 might cause some problems if they crossed their path with them. But the most worrisome part was the teams from Kiri. Because they were going through war, they shouldn't be able to send any teams, let alone 2, and the way they were subtly looking at her team was setting alarms off on her head. This is not good, was the only thought that went through her head when she learned the conditions of their second exam. All the teams that she wanted to avoid were looking at her team from time to time. Great. The Suna and the Kumo, she got no idea as to why they wanted to fight them, but the rest of the teams were pretty obvious. Guess the Kiri found out either about me or about Kiba. Haku noted grudgingly. Naruto went to talk with Hinata for some time while Haku and Ranmaru got their scrolls. It was a heaven scroll. Alright, you wimps. Go to your arranged gate and wait for the signal. I am saying one more time, do not underestimate what is in Training Ground 44, it is not known as Forest of Death for nothing. Anko shouted at the contestants. So anyone got any plans? Naruto asked eagerly while they stood behind Gate 10. Got one, but I will talk about it when we pass the gate. Haku whispered lowly, which alerted her teammates. After 10 minutes later. So what spooked you out, Hakune? Naruto asked as they were running through the trees. For some reasons I think all the tough teams are targeting us. And stopping Naruto from shouting. That is not a good thing. So I know this sounds bad, but here is my suggestion. We go straight for the tower, no stopping in midway. We camp there. In that way we can target the people that are already exhausted, not to mention we can choose who to target as well. Haku explained. Won't it be risky if few groups come together? Ranmaru pointed out. Highly unlikely, Haku replied back. I don't like it as well, but as our full team is on the hit list of other strong teams, I think that may be the safest route to go through, Haku told the other two. So what do you think, Naruto? Don't like it, but judging by your voice we might be in serious shit if we do this in normal method. So why not? Naruto said in an unexcited voice, but even he knew that this place was no joke. One wrong move and that could possibly end their lives. Near the tower, Team 5 could see the top of the tower. Naruto made a clone and was carrying Ranmaru, who was using his eyes to clear the path. Because of that they reached near the tower real fast. But suddenly Ranmaru tensed up, and sensing that Haku and Naruto stopped. Ranmaru? Naruto asked. All Ranmaru did was to look at one particular place, and narrowed his eyes to get more clear vision. The moment Haku and Naruto took a battle stance, 3 figures came out from where Ranmaru was looking at. All 3 were wearing full body cloak with an Umbu mask, monkey, bear and eagle. What are Umbu doing here? Naruto relaxed his form. Naruto-kun, something about them is not right. Please be careful, Haku whispered. Naruto took her warning and once again went into his battle stance. So, is there anything you need from us, Umbu-san? Naruto asked in light tone. The Umbu looked at each other. There was a silent communication. Then they charged at Team 5. Flashback. This is your task, measure their strengths and see what they are hiding? Danzo smirked a bit as he handed Team 5's file to his 3 root members. How much force are we allowed to use? One Umbu with monkey mask asked. Hiruzen is cautious right now, stay at the center of the forest, near the tower. I am pretty sure they will be tired and weakened by the time they reach there, Danzo replied while his eyes were scanning the 3 root members. Monkey was a strategic type root whose specialty was capturing weakened targets. Bear was a mid-jonin class root whose specialty was fighting in the front line, and Eagle was good with surveillance and tracking as he was equipped with one Byakugan eye. In unexpected circumstances? Eagle asked. Use enough force to bring out their true power. You are to withdraw immediately after you are done. Yes, sir. All 3 replied. Flashback ends. Bear rushed at them, but immediately he regretted when he was thrown back by a strong lightning bolt. Everyone looked at the cause and the root Umbu grimaced, knowing things just went tougher. Naruto-kun, why are you using Kiba? Haku asked, although she knew they might need it, but she was still wary of the Kuririn. Yamato-sensei told me that I can use Kiba on really tough situation, and I am pretty sure fighting 3 suspicious Umbu falls into that category. Naruto replied as he went in front of Haku and Ranmaru. Make few clones and fight defensively, stay on guard, Haku advised as she took out her senbons. Naruto didn't have time to either respond nor make any clones as Bear charged again, but this time he brought out his weapon, which was tonfa covered with inscribed words. Naruto stopped his advance once again with lightning-charged Kiba strike, but to his surprise Bear withstood the attack this time with his tonfa. It was as if the tonfa repelled the lightning attack. Naruto was too stunned at the development that he took the full blow of Bear's high kick, but he recovered from the attack fast enough to block the Bear's oncoming relentless attacks. His Kiba wasn't doing much damage, but still he knew that the fake Umbu was too cautious around his swords. Hakune. Ranmaru looked at Haku, who was looking at Naruto's battle as well as was keeping a sharp eye on the 2 unmoving Umbus. Keep your eye on them without noticing, Haku whispered. Ranmaru nodded, but he was still concerned about Naruto. In terms of raw power and equipment, Naruto was superior to his opponent, but he lacked real-life experience and knowledge regarding his opponent, who was quite armed in those areas. Bear was using minimum power to keep Naruto in check? Priority-wise they are to evaluate Haku and Ranmaru, so Bear was making sure Naruto was occupied. Now Naruto might be a dense knucklehead, but in real-life fighting he could sense and foresee quite a few hidden things, and being an unexpected ninja he tended to use those opportunities in a unique way. From their ongoing clashes, Naruto understood that the Umbu was stalling him. He was either waiting for his other members to strike or his chakra to diminish. Also, he noticed how he was subtly trying to move him away from his teammates, which was also didn't go unnoticed by Haku. She knew that the moment she and Ranmaru would go to help Naruto, they would be vulnerable to the other 2 who up till now still didn't make any moves. Ranmaru was hiding behind Haku in a way so the other 2 root couldn't see him using his eyes, but what none of them knew was that his powers were already being assessed by Eagle, who was able to relay the message to Monkey without Team 5 noticing. Suddenly out of nowhere, Eagle threw few kunais at Haku and Ranmaru, and Monkey followed closely behind those. But the kunai didn't even make to the halfway before they were stopped by Senbon's courtesy of Haku, who immediately threw enough smoke bombs to cover the area, hoping that it would slow down the enemies. Taking cover in the smoke, she used Ranmaru's ability to go after Naruto. Eagle noted with the help with his Byakugan how Ranmaru was able to see in the dense smoke and was leading Haku towards Naruto. He also took note of how Ranmaru's chakra near his eye was reacting. "One down, one to go," Eagle whispered. The moment Naruto saw the smoke went off, he wanted to rush towards his teammates, but his momentary distraction was enough for his opponent. "Lightning release, lightning discharge," Bear shouted while pointing his tonfa at Naruto. "Shit! It wasn't deflecting the lightning, it was absorbing it." Naruto dodged, but immediately he realized his mistake. He wasn't the target of the attack. Luckily for Haku, she had enough experience fighting inside mist that she was able to sense the jutsu coming from front and from the back, courtesy from the monkey. She grabbed Ranmaru and used Kawarimi on the right time to get in front of the frontal attack, but once again it seemed that they miscalculated the root's intention. They wanted Haku and Ranmaru to get caught, but not in the jutsu but in the shock wave caused by the jutsu. Sensing the massive explosion, Haku at the last moment shielded Ranmaru with her body. Although she was able to go far enough with Kawarimi, the shockwave was still strong enough to send them flying. She landed on the ground rather harshly while holding Ranmaru tightly. Naruto saw red when he saw Haku came flying from the smoke, but he knew not to make the same mistake again. So he charged at Haku but was building up chakra. Bear thought the chakra buildup was from rage, so he gave pursuit only to fall for Naruto's trap. "Absorb this shithead!" Naruto yelled while he stopped suddenly and turned around when he sensed the root was close enough for his attack. "Twin moon storm style, crescent moon!" Bear thought his tonfa would be able to at least reduce the damage. But he was so wrong. Not only the tonfa was shattered, the force of the attack was strong enough to throw the root far through some trees, who landed much harsher than Haku. Earth release, earth spear. Fire release, Phoenix Sage fire technique. The two jutsu combined, making the earth spears coming at Naruto with much more speed and power. The deadlier part was that the spears were not coming from straight line, rather they were moving randomly, making them harder to track. Hayaton, certain kill ice spears. Few solid ice spears rose in front of Naruto, which formed a solid wall strong enough to block the blazing earth spears. The roots were stunned at the revelations for few seconds. It was all the time Haku needed. Ninja art, hidden mist jutsu. Naruto smiled when he heard that. He dashed inside the mist. Eagle and Monkey came beside their injured member. "Can you move?" Monkey asked. "Yes," Bear replied back as he was trying to shake off the numbness from his injured arms. "They are heading back to the forest. It's hard to detect them properly through the thick mist," Eagle pointed out. "Leave them. We got what Danzo-sama wanted. Let's move," Monkey ordered. With Team 5. When Haku saw Naruto coming towards them, she whispered, "Back inside the forest." Naruto immediately made 2 clones to carry both of his teammates, and rushed inside the forest. "Ranmaru, are they following us?" Haku asked. "I can't see them," Ranmaru replied back. "Hakune, you okay?" Naruto asked. He still had his kiba out. With Haku being injured, he needed some extra reassurance. "My ankle is twisted, not that badly. Used a little extra chakra on the mist, so kinda low on it. Nothing that a good rest can't fix." Haku smiled weakly. "So what now?" Ranmaru asked nervously. "We rest for a while, better if we stay." Their talk got interrupted when they sensed someone approaching them. Naruto made a few more clones but was surprised when he saw it was Sai. "Sai, what are you doing here? Where is everyone else?" Naruto asked while he lowered his guard, just a bit. "The duck butt and the chopping board is fighting someone while I am busy with something else," Sai replied as he started drawing something on his scroll. "Something what?" Haku asked, knowing that it was better not to. Her question was answered when a huge snake came at them, crushing the trees in its path. "Oh shit!" was the common thought of Team 5. "Somewhere else. So did you find them?" A man with Kiri headband asked his teammates. "I am a censor, but I don't have experience in a freaking forest. Give me a break," the girl in their team hissed. "We got to find that girl. She can lead us to Zabuza. But first let's group up with the other team," the first person replied as he stood up. "By the way, did you heard about the rumor that Raiga was killed?" the girl asked. "Don't know, but if he did die, then it would be a problem, as we have no idea who may got hold of Kiba. Let's worry about that later. Time to move," the last person from the team ordered. in another part of the forest. Is it me or this test is boring? A tall, muscular boy with tan skin and brown hair sighed as he dropped a Taki ninja. His yellow eyes scanned the fallen Taki team and one AIM team. We were chosen not for promotion but rather for infiltration, D. We confirm our objectives without blowing our cover. Anything on your end, see? A girl, with long, straight, blonde hair bound with taut bandages with black eyes, asked his teammate. Well, he took care of the stuffs we needed to pass this exam. We can either keep looking for the kid or go to the tower and wait him there. Your call, Yujito? A young boy with short, blonde hair and dark eyes replied back. Come on, let's just stay the first day. We can head back to the tower anytime we want. How about it? D cheekily replied back. You just want to stay because you want to fight a Hyuga. Yujito rubbed her temple. Despite that, this is the first day. Maybe we should stay just one day? C gave his thoughts to his teammates. Fine, but D, stick to the plan. I don't want Asama to get pissed off. Yujito requested to D rather forcefully. Okay, sheesh. D yawned as he lazily started to follow his teammates. Unknown location, everything is here, Danzo-sama. Monkey stated as he gave Danzo the report. Stay. I want your opinion on this as well. Danzo ordered while he started to go through the report. Ice release? Interesting, so the girl got an extinct bloodline, all the way from Kiri. How is she? Danzo looked at Monkey. She seems to be the head of the team. My guess is that it was her idea to come and wait near the tower for other teams. She is quite sharp and cunning. With a few more years she can easily be a high-level jonin with tactician mindset. Monkey pointed out. Danzo nodded and went back to read the report. This new kid, why did you put unknown on his ability? Danzo asked with slight interest lingering in his voice. With all due respect, sir, we got no idea how his ability works. According to Eagle, his eyes can see through heavy smoke as well as through objects almost like Byakugan, but unlike Byakugan his eye color changes to red and the chakra reacts differently. Monkey replied. Are you saying that the kid has one-of-a-kind dojutsu? Danzo asked as a slight smirk found its way on his lips. That is a high probability. Monkey answered. He was caught off guard by the sheer excitement that was clearly visible on his leader's face. And about our Jinchuriki? Danzo stood up, the report forgotten. He truly knows Storm Release, strong enough to injure Bear's hand severely even with the lightning-enchanted Tonfa, and also there was no Kyuubi's influence when he did that. Monkey answered back. If that is all, you may leave. Danzo sounded quite pleased as he headed towards his bookshelf. Monkey left immediately. Nice played, old friend. A team full of rare bloodlines, the kids will probably tell their teacher after this exam. For now I will lay low, but there is quite some time before I can use this information. All I have to do is just to wait for one of those kids to slip, the Jinchuriki with a legendary Miss Sword, an ice user with unclear background and a small kid with an unknown bloodline. You may have blocked me from taking the Jinchuriki, Hiruzen, but I am pretty sure those other two can be as good as him with proper training. A team full with unlimited potential. Oh, the possibilities! Danzo's smirk grew wider as he took a few scrolls from the shelf. These will do just fine. Chapter 20, Forest of Death 2. We rest for a while, better if we stay. Their talk got interrupted when they sensed someone approaching towards them. Naruto made a few more clones but was surprised when he saw it was Sai. Sai, what are you doing here? Where is everyone else? Naruto asked while he lowered his guard, just a bit. The duck butt and the chopping board is fighting someone while I am busy with something else. Sai replied as he was drawing something on his scroll. Something what? Haku asked, knowing that it was better not to. Her question was answered when a huge snake came at them, crushing the trees in its path. Oh shit! Was the common thought of Team 5. Moments before. Sai, did your ink mouse found anyone yet? Sasuke asked as he double-checked their earth scroll. Not yet, duckbutt. Sai made a crude remark as always, but Sasuke just brushed it off. After spending some time with the odd boy, Sasuke understood that he would always find a way to piss people off, as if it was his natural talent. So instead of bickering with him over every of his comments, Sasuke just ignored them altogether. It was much easier and more efficient that way. Is it okay for us to advance this far, Sasuke-kun? Sakura asked timidly. She wasn't sure of joining the Chunin exam, but she didn't want to hold her team back. They dashed towards the middle of the forest to get any exhausted opponent by surprise, but so far no luck. Before Sasuke could reply, a sudden noise alerted both him and Sai, and to their surprise a giant snake came at them out of nowhere. Sai jumped on one side while Sasuke, grabbing Sakura, jumped on another side. They didn't even had the chance to regroup as the snake took after Sai. Sasuke wanted to go after him, but suddenly he felt a presence in front of him. And all of his instincts told him to focus on his current opponent. Ku, hello there, Sasuke-kun. Hearing the voice, Sasuke shivered. Why do I get the feeling that I am screwed? With Team 5, where the hell did this snake crawl out from? Naruto hissed as his clones carried Haku and Ranmaru to a safer distance. Dunno, it just popped out from nowhere. It separated me from my team. Sai replied as he started to sketch some beasts fast. I don't have time for this shit. Naruto angrily grunted as he made his favorite hand seal. Shadow clone, explosion version. When the smoke cleared, one shadow clone came into view which immediately charged at the snake. The snake, seeing the genin charging at it, opened its mouth and dashed to swallow the clone whole. But the clone dodged at the last second, making the snake angry. It looked at the clone and made an angry hiss, and as it opened its mouth once again to strike, to its surprise the clone jumped right at the open mouth of the unprepared snake, and dove all the way inside. Naruto pointed his index finger at the snake and smirked. Boom! From the neck of the snake there was a big explosion, but instead of seeing blood and organs of the giant snake, there was only smoke. And when the smoke disappeared, the snake vanished as if it was never there to begin with. What the hell? Where did it go? Naruto screamed in surprise. I think it was a summoning creature. Sai replied hesitantly. Being a root member, he knew more than a normal genin. Heck, even a normal chunin didn't know as much as he did. So when he understood that the snake was a summoning creature, he was troubled as he had an idea about the opponent his other teammates were facing. Whatever, let's go to Sasuke. He might still be in trouble. Naruto didn't wait for Sai as he motioned his clones, who were still holding on to Ranmaru and Haku, to move on. This is going to be bad. Sai whispered to himself. He released a deep breath and went after Naruto. Sasuke was cursing his luck. No matter what he did, his opponent was taking it all with ease and was acting as if she was enjoying it. And the look she was giving him, a shiver ran down through his spine. Nope, not a good sign. He looked at Sakura, who was trying her best to calm down. He couldn't blame her. Few moments ago, the amount of bloodlust the woman emitted was something he never experienced, not even with the fight against Zabuza. Meaning this woman was no way a mere genin. At first, when she wanted their scroll, he actually thought of giving it to her, but after studying her gesture and speech a bit, Sasuke understood that she wouldn't leave them even if they handed their scroll. So he had to resort to fighting. Fuck my life. He cursed once again when the woman dodged his kunai. That was good, Sasuke-kun. You purposely threw a kunai to miss me while throwing another to the previous one to change its direction. Bravo. The woman smiled in a way which made Sasuke almost lose his breakfast. Now how about? The woman couldn't finish whatever she wanted to say as hundreds of Naruto came onto her. Yo Sasuke, need a hand? The real one landed beside Sasuke. Naruto? Why the hell are you here? Sasuke asked in a surprised tone, but never did he take his eye away from the opponent. Chill, Sai is here as well, but he took Sakura and hid with my teammates. They are not in the best condition to fight, so I told him to look after them. Naruto replied while he readied his Kiba swords. What happened? Sasuke was interrupted by a large explosion. Did my exploding clones hit? Naruto asked no one as he looked a bit confused. Hearing that, Sasuke didn't wait even a single second as he went through hand signs real fast. Fire release, great fireball technique. And with the help of his Sharingan, Sasuke threw the fireball exactly where the woman was standing before, and it sounded like it hit something. But before Sasuke could talk to Naruto, a bone-chilling laughter echoed around them. Nicely done, hiding exploding clones among normal shadow clones. And Sasuke-kun, you didn't waste a single second, truly remarkable. When the smoke cleared, the woman was standing like nothing happened, although she was battered and burned. She stretched her mouth with her hands and another person came out from there. I think I am going to be sick. Sasuke and Naruto thought at the same time. The person was a tall man with extremely translucent-looking pale skin and straight waist-length black hair. He had golden eyes with slits in his pupils, purple markings around his eyes and fawn-like teeth. He wore plain gray garbs with black pants, and a thick purple rope belt was tied in a large knot behind his back. There was a silence as if a predator was about to strike, but it was broken by, "Wait, so the woman is a dude? I am confused." Naruto's oblivious question. with the rest of the team. Before Naruto's intervene, he told Sai to look after Haku and Ranmaru and also made 2 clones to stay with them. He then went ahead made another one to move Sakura out of the battle. Is it okay for us to be here, Hakune? Ranmaru asked. We are not in the best condition to fight, and from the looks of it, we will only burden them if we join like this. Let us recuperate first. Haku replied and took a chakra pill. All the while, Sai was quiet. He had a vague idea of who they were fighting against, and the problem was, would he relay the information to them? Danzo did order him to blend in with the genin, but he was also ordered not to divulge any secret information. Although this did fall under secret directory, but if he was to keep this information hidden, they might not come out of here alive. His thinking was disturbed by Naruto, let me go! A screaming Sakura. Quit it, girl! Haku hissed angrily. What are all of you people doing here? We should help Sasuke-kun now. Sakura was almost screaming again. Her panic was obvious to everyone. What are you expecting us to do? We are injured and tired. Sai is here covering our back till we recover, and after that we can join the fight. Haku gritted her teeth. She knew Sakura was panicking, so she was not thinking clearly, but her own inability to do nothing was making her angry as well. Wait, I can still help Naruto-kun from here. Haku stilled to calm her breathing. Ranmaru-kun, can you have an eye out for Naruto and keep me posted? Ranmaru knew what Haku meant. He climbed a tree and took out a monocular, which was just a disguise to hide his ability, and started to inspect the battle. Why do we have to cover your back? You are not our teammates. Sakura asked angrily. Are you serious? Haku was dumbfounded hearing what Sakura said, but before she could respond back, Hakune, came Ranmaru's shaking voice. That doesn't sound good. Sai and Haku thought simultaneously. With Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke was looking at Naruto, with jaws open. Well, even though it was a stupid thing to say considering the moment, but it reduced the tension in the air, and he knew that was something they needed. For Orochimaru, Naruto was an interesting subject. Few weeks before, all he thought about him was just another random nobody, but after recent development, he was quite intrigued towards the blonde Jinchuriki because of him possessing one of the rarest bloodline. Well, after few recent massacre that had been going around the villages, lots of bloodlines were becoming rare, but Storm Release was a rare one to begin with. Even in Kumo, they didn't have too many of Storm Release users. His thought process was halted when he saw the swords Naruto was holding. Are those Kiba? Hearing that, Naruto filched a bit, which answered Orochimaru's question. He grinned. Interesting indeed. Guess for now he would evaluate both of them. Orochimaru charged at them suddenly. Of course he was not going to go with full power, and it seemed they were ready for that. Both of them dashed backwards to gain some distance, but Orochimaru was not having that. He increased his speed to catch them, but the moment he was close he saw Naruto closing his eyes as Sasuke detonated a flash bomb. Orochimaru escaped that by a mere second using body flicker. When he looked around he saw they were far away. He knew they were not going to run away cause of their teammates, but it looked like they were planning something. He waited a little bit to give them time. It was long since he had some fun, and he could make some more time for it. He would mark Sasuke, but he was not sure about Naruto because of what he held inside. Maybe the powers would fuse. It would be quite fascinating to see the end result. He mused to himself. Oh, the possibilities! Thinking that he had given them enough time, he took out Kusanagi and charged once again. Naruto knew from his guts that this guy was far superior to him, but right now the options were very limited, so he intercepted him with Kiba. He did have something to give him an upper hand in a situation like this. Orochimaru was quite surprised when he felt he was being pushed back in sword fighting. It was not one of his best forte, but in no way he was an amateur. So it took him few moments to figure out what Naruto was doing. He charged his Kiba with lightning chakra, which was not too much, but in a way so when Kusanagi was hitting the swords the electricity was pushing his sword back. It was also enhancing the speed of Naruto's sword strikes. Clever. He was quite pleased. It was a crafty, subtle technique to drop the distance between them in terms of power and speed. But one thing Naruto calculated wrong. This skill would do really good against someone who was a pure swordsman or taijutsu specialist, not someone like Orochimaru. Orochimaru suddenly leaped back and 3 snakes were shot from his raised arm, which wrapped around each other and started spinning like a drill. With extreme speed those hit Naruto head on. Naruto was not ready for something like this. Although he tried to block, but the power behind that attack was so strong that Naruto flew from his place and was smashed into a tree. Orochimaru's sense kicked in just in time to see Sasuke throwing a Fuma shuriken at him. Orochimaru smirked when he noticed small corners of hidden tags in it. He dodged the weapon with ease, but the moment he did, lots of shadow clone charged at him. He waited till they were close, and with one good swipe with his stretched Kusanagi he destroyed all of them. To Naruto and Sasuke's frustration, Orochimaru raised his arm and caught another Fuma shuriken which was coming at him from behind. Nicely done, both of you. While Naruto-kun here distracted me, you gave one of his clone the real shuriken and hinged it into a 1. The tags were there for me to see, so that instead of catching it I was to dodge it. And the clones that you sent were just to hide the noise when original clone would pop out and throw the shuriken, right? Orochimaru grinned at Sasuke, who was looking down. You got everything right except for one thing, Sasuke replied calmly. And that would be? Orochimaru asked in a challenging manner. Naruto landed beside Sasuke while holding his stomach. We never had any Fuma shuriken, asshole! Naruto smirked. Before Orochimaru could react, the shuriken he was holding transformed back to a clone, and it was not just any clone, it was an exploding one, and Naruto pumped extra juice into making that. The clone exploded right at Orochimaru's face. His body fell from the tree that he was standing on. Seeing that, Naruto and Sasuke both relaxed. What the hell, man? I didn't sign up for this kind of shit. Naruto groaned. Do you think I did, dumbass? Let's just get out of here fast. Sasuke sighed. Their guard was down. And that was their mistake. Before they knew what was happening, a kunai came towards them dangerously fast. They jumped in time to avoid that, but they were separated. I had fun, kids, but my time is running low. Before Naruto could even land, Orochimaru was there and kneed Naruto, who felt all the wind left his lungs. He didn't even had time to retort for the oncoming elbow. The only thing he remembered before blackening out was heading towards a tree. Sasuke was stunned at their situation. Although he recovered, he was not expecting this kind of move. Orochimaru's neck stretched from all the way where he was standing and headed towards Sasuke, but before he could move he felt his body getting number. Damn his eyes! Sasuke cursed at getting caught off guard by Orochimaru's directed bloodlust. He just hopelessly watched as Orochimaru opened his mouth to show his fangs as his face got closer. Moments before. Wow, Naruto and Ai's clone exploded at his face! Ranma cheered. That should do it. We better get moving fast. Haku released a breath she didn't know from when she was holding. Sai was skeptical because he knew who they were fighting against, so there was no way the fight was over so easily. Hakune, the guy's life force isn't diminishing. Ranma's worried voice snapped Haku. If a guy was still alive after taking a powered-up exploding clone to his face, they needed to get away from there and fast. Sai was surprised hearing the way Ranma described the situation. There was no way an ordinary monocular could show someone's life force. Sai, get in there. Now! Haku took another chakra pill, and she knew she would be feeling the side effect soon, but for now she didn't have time to care for that. Sai didn't argue as he rushed towards the battlefield. Ice release, ice clone. Haku put extra power into the clone. Sakura, carry Ranma now. We have to leave as soon as we can. Haku barked at Sakura with bloodlust so that she wouldn't argue back, which worked. Sakura didn't know what was going on, but whatever it was bad, very, very bad. With Naruto and Sasuke, Naruto blackened out after getting elbowed on his head and he flew towards a tree, but before crashing to it, Sai caught him in midair. For Sasuke, before Orochimaru could bit him, Sasuke was forced to switch places with Haku's ice clone through Kawarimi. And for Orochimaru, he was the first person ever to get an intense brain freeze as he bit down Haku's ice clone, paralyzing him enough for Sai to throw few kunai with exploding tags attached, right at his face once again. As for Sasuke, before he could ask or do anything he was slapped in the face, hard by Haku. What the hell? Shouted both Sasuke and Sakura. Shut up. Are you feeling fine now? Sasuke understood what she meant. His numbness was gone. He nodded. Then carry me after I am done with this. I won't be having any chakra left to run fast. Ninja art, hidden miss jutsu. Once again Haku put extra power into her jutsu. Sai, who came carrying Naruto on his back, just looked at Haku critically. Everyone move out now. Fast. Sasuke ordered as he carried Haku, bridal style. Although Haku wanted to argue, but she didn't have any energy left. So Team 7 left carrying their backup, Team 5. With Orochimaru underestimated them. Both Sasuke and Naruto, as well as their teammates. When Naruto joined Sasuke, he never thought that they would be able to force him to use Orochimaru-style body replacement technique. So after that he didn't stay put as he quickly went to finish them off. He wanted to mark Sasuke first, then he would have gone for Naruto. Not everything works out perfectly. But now he knew another valuable information. One of Naruto's teammates was a Hayatan user, another rare bloodline, and it seemed she was quite good at it. The only question was why she didn't join the fight from the start. Maybe she was weakened. Naruto-kun also looked like he just came from a fight. Storm release and ice release, wonderful. Didn't know Konoha was housing so many rare bloodline users, Orochimaru mused as he was running away. After Haku's interference, Orochimaru had to use Orochimaru-style body replacement technique once again, and now his chakra reserve was low. Still, he wanted to follow them so he could at least mark Sasuke, but the mist, made by the girl, was too strong for him to figure out where they went, and with his current condition it would be unwise to wander around the forest aimlessly. He also had informed the Sound Genins to change their mission. He ordered them, through his messenger snake, to catch the girl alive as she seemed weak. Sasuke and Naruto would be difficult to capture as their status in the village, the last Uchiha and the Jinchuriki. The girl on the other hand was not known, otherwise he would have been notified, meaning Hiruzen was keeping it under the hood for some reason. Maybe he could use this to his advantage. I wonder what more surprises this village has to offer me. With Anko. What do you mean I should wait for others? Anko was raging. She told Irika to come and observe the match, but it was more like she wanted to pass her time with him. Then when she found out Orochimaru was involved, Irika stopped Anko from going after him and told few of the guys present there to ask for reinforcement. Anko-chan, what are you going to do after you find Orochimaru? Irika asked calmly. I will make sure the snake bastard goes 6 feet under. Anko barked. Isn't he a Sannin? Irika asked evenly once again, which stopped Anko's ranting. I know you are strong, very strong, but Anko, look me in the eyes and tell me you can take down a Sannin. Irika's voice was calm, but it had power behind it. Anko couldn't look at him in the eyes. She was hoping to catch Orochimaru off guard and use a suicide technique, but now she was feeling guilty of thinking that way. Let's wait for Fuumbu, then you can go in with precaution. If you can't find him, then talk to the participators about him. If you go in and die, then the only person will be winning is him. Irika tried to calm down Anko with his gentle persuasion, and from the looks of it, it seemed like it was working. Fine, I will go in when our reinforcement comes. Anko huffed. She was never the type to back down from any arguments, but Irika had ways with his words. Suddenly Anko grinned. I listened to what you said, so you also have to listen to one of my requests. Irika didn't like the way Anko was smirking, but if listening to her needs kept her safe, he would do it willingly. Fine, just go easy on me, will ya? Irika sighed. A small blush could be seen in his cheeks. Anko just laughed. Somewhere else. Is that mist? Yup, seems like we found our target. Do you have her location? Got it, she is heading northwest with some other kids. Finally. Omiki Sasuke vs. Lee, the fight before the exam. Sasuke was beyond pissed. After accepting the challenge from Lee, both of them came to a secluded place to fight. The fight started well, but now it was becoming too much one-sided. His eye could follow his movement, but his body couldn't. With hard work, one can even surpass a prodigy. Lee told in a calm voice which only fueled Sasuke's rage. His anger started clouding his judgment, but suddenly he remembered Haku's words: instead of analyzing the situation, you fell for my taunting. Sasuke took a deep breath and waited for Lee, who came straight towards him with a flying kick, but Sasuke's body flickered to get some distance. He started taking deep breath to calm his mind down. He looked at Lee and started thinking of his options. Taijutsu was a no-go, and for ninjutsu he was pretty sure he would only be wasting chakra, as hitting Lee with a jutsu seemed quite close to impossible now. Then the only thing left for him was the third possibility, but before that he needed perfect timing. The moment he saw Lee charged at him once again, he took out 2 kunai at each hand and spun around, which Lee was not prepared for, as his kick, his weight took the kunai cut, and his punch, luckily he pulled out in time so didn't get deep cut, was blocked simultaneously. Nicely done, Sasuke-san. If I was not careful I would have been injured badly, Lee said in a happy tone. So let's get serious, shall we? Well, I wouldn't have it any other way, Sasuke replied back calmly. Suddenly Lee was right in front of Sasuke and looked him at the eye, and then in an instant he spun and kicked Sasuke with enough force that made him go flying. Shadow of the Dancing Leaf. Lee was right behind Sasuke, but instead of panicking, Sasuke was rather calm. Get ready to see the power of youth. Lee's bandages started to unwrap, but before he could execute his attack, a kunai came and stopped it, abruptly ending the match. Lee's sensei, Guy, came and lectured Lee about youth and honor, which Sasuke didn't listen. He just left the area with his teammates. By the way, Lee, I hope you know that if I didn't stop the fight, it would have a devastating end result, not the one you are thinking. Guy became serious the moment Sasuke and his teammates left. What do you mean, Guy-sensei? Lee asked curiously. When you used Shadow of the Dancing Leaf, you didn't go behind Sasuke, rather you were in front of him. Guy replied back. How? No way. Lee stopped when Guy put his hand up. I think he put you under a genjutsu, but it is up to you to find out when he did, my youthful student. Learn from this fight, the battle would have gone either way, meaning you are not as strong as your youthful mind believes you to be. Guy pointed out. Lee saluted Guy and started talking, extremely loud, about youthfulness, which Guy joined as well.